Yeah. I'm at Grace Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address. And now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. Just placing in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
Hi, you guys. I was wondering that myself. Where's Sloopy been? Is Sloopy okay? Where's Sloopy? Sloopy hiding? Hey, guys. Hey, Daisy. Sunny's the bomb. Okay. You know what? I had to get rid of that emote just so I could put in the turkey one on there. It's kind of like members come and members go, and then I forgot I should have just replaced it instead of deleted. So I was like, which one am I going to delete? Hey, everyone. And you guys have Thanksgiving tomorrow over there in the U.S., so happy Thanksgiving to who's ever celebrated, whoever hasn't yet, and who will do it tomorrow. So the members, you guys have that little turkey, the colorful turkey that I've been playing.
Black Friday at Ollie's is almost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Adam's back from his trip. You guys seen him the other day. Yay. Oh, 69 people in the house right now. Call me crazy, but I think I like that number.
I see 71, so I don't know what you're looking at.
Well, when I looked, it was 69, and that's all that really matters.
I'm seeing 69.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, guys. Well, let's give out some shout outs right away. Eh? I keep saying that it's going to be a short live tonight, but they're just like, yeah, okay, Sunny. Yeah, sure. Okay. Hey, Mary Flynn. Hi, CJK. Hi, Crystal Lister. Sally Hiller's in the house. Sweet Caroline. Michaela Criminology. Let's see. Who's Alexa?
Love Alexa.
I'm not even sure anymore. No, just kidding. Love you, Alexa. Brett Decker. Thank you guys again for being here while Adam was away playing. You know, probably passed out in a few of those. I'm waiting to see pictures too. I totally want him to up his ante on the other passing out on the chair ones. I always think, what about like his back? Sweet Caroline. Sorry, you're gonna have to hear it from me instead of Deb, right? I'm sure she's singing it in her head. Let's see here. Who else we got? Brett Decker. I think I said that. Ozzy. Callie.
Hello, everybody.
I'm not sure. Oh, there you are. I think I know you. Bend over. I think I know you. Remember that joke? Bend over. It's an old joke. Multiple Sean's. Always throws me off. I don't know why, but I always see multiple P's every time I see that name. One of those names. Okay, sees through. Jill Moser's in the house. And you guys, please hit that like button if you could for us. That would be amazing. Rob Lee's in the house. Look at you people. Gotta keep scrolling. If I miss anybody, I'm sorry. But I keep seeing the same name, so we'll just, there we go. Hear it again. Rob Lee, hear it again. There's a new one. Here. Hey, Dave, how are you? Moonshadow, Tracy Chapman. But yeah, you guys, seriously, where's Sloopy been? I think, because I thought Sloopy wasn't, I thought she was ill, or I can't remember now. What was it? You guys remember? Because I get torn because there's so many people that tell me stuff, and then I'm like, oh yeah, when I hear it again. Cordy, if you're hiding out in the back, Adam's here now. You're allowed to talk again. Oh, there's my McDougal. There's my McDougal through. And there, Lewis is in the house. Hey, met Mama Michelle. I think she abandoned me on Twitter and my messenger. Just saying. Mama, no, yeah. But Metal Mama, thank you for your gifting memberships that you've done a couple times. So I give a shout out for that. Thank you. Daisy Dukes. Oh, Lulu Gumshoe. There you go. That one comes off the tongue a little easy. Lulu. Mystical's in the house. I missed that earlier. Cold case reports. Forever Young. Tammy, 77. How are you? Yone. Remy Stoff, Miss Dog Lover, my favorite subscriber. Just so you know, she said she's my favorite subscriber. I'm not sure how she feels about you. Verbal Judo, hello Verbal. Oh, Copper Horse is in the house. Hey Copper.
Hey Copper Horse.
Yeah. Appreciation night on that Copper Horse. I feel like calling her Trojan. She's just a warrior, like a freaking. I feel like she's like multiple horse breeds. She does so much for so many. In here, elsewhere. Appreciation. I remember on Twitter I made this little special thing with maybe they weren't copper, but anyway, it was this field of horses. So I just took a picture and put a bunch of horses in it and whatever, like these. We'll call them copper if they weren't. Okay. And anyways, just give her some love back, because it's always nice when, you see people that do a lot of things in so many of the channels. And then love you, Metal Mama. And then, you know what I mean? Just always some appreciation back. Not that it was asked for, but it's appreciated. Not expected, but appreciated. DGR Dave's in the house. Grandma watches. Sunny, I haven't checked my messages on Facebook or Twitter. How's your family member doing there? Because that's what I wanted to check with you on there. Phil Bond. That just says dirty one. Hi Jerry. Miss Thang. And then Alexa, be safe on your trip. Yeah, be safe on your trip. I'm gonna put the kettle on. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, where's Polygraph? Because Polly will put the kettle on. Not sure where Polly is. Don't worry, she's over there. And then there's Lisa. I think she was like, Sunny, STFU.
Lisa, yes. In the future, I will 100% schedule my life around the case updates.
Awesome.
I'm sure that I was back before the hearing.
Yeah, barely.
Barely.
Hey, at least your messenger's back up, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That really sucks.
AKA he turned it back on.
Yeah. I know. See, there's a new one. There's this other one, eh? It's called Telegram. And I remember
I've
Tara.
not used it.
Hey?
I've not used it.
No, Alex had talked about it to me too, but I'd already heard about it because I had actually had it because Tiara's like, hey, I don't really use my messenger. I'm always on Telegram. It's more, what's what I want to use? Private, confidential in a sense. But it's like Messenger. It's really just like Messenger. Yeah, I'm craving that turkey. Can I just tell you this? And you guys don't need to know this, but I'm going to share it with you anyway, because you know I'm like that. Whenever I eat turkey, I don't know about you guys, but I get turkey farts like crazy. Do you guys too?
No, I just get really tired.
I feel like
The triple
really? Do you, Lewis? Do you get turkey farts?
No,
No? Are you sure?
no.
You guys all innocent over there? Because it's like the stomach goes. You
You know I don't because I don't eat turkey. So
no, of course not. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's not my favorite either.
It's like this. I do love turkey, but it's like the most gassiest food to me. It's just like I said, when someone's stomach is just like burbling.
Do you put your turkey upside down?
I've never cooked a turkey a day in my life. Okay, I've been to my mother's house. My twin always cooked turkey. I've never legitly cooked a turkey in my entire life.
Wow.
And I am proud of that fact. Thank you very much. Thank you. 53 years, people. Never cooked one darn turkey ever. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. I just wondered if it happened to other people as well. It's the mashed potatoes. Well,
What's your favorite part of the turkey?
the mashed potatoes.
No. What part of the turkey?
Sorry.
I like the white meat. I don't like the round. I used to, as a kid, like drumsticks.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "You guys, give me the drumsticks, give me the drumsticks." And then all of a sudden, I remember staring at it the one day, going, "Oh, ew! Look at all that browny, bloody red stuff in there." And I got turned off. I mean, so when I eat drumsticks now, it's more like I'll eat it and like this, like I don't even know you're there. Like that's how I eat it, really. If I have a drumstick, but I'm more of I've always been like a white breast. Okay, men, you can just enjoy that. It's a white breast that I enjoy of the turkey.
Now, how do you eat the breast? I mean, when you guys carve your turkey, how do you normally carve it? On the bone, or do you take the whole breast out and slice it in slices?
This is going to turn into a whole different live. I can tell right now. Okay, so
This is like a big argument
off the
because
bone.
I do 100% different than
on the
most
bone.
people.
Cuts it off the bone.
Well, let's be honest. Actually, my twin, she's a very picky meat person, so she actually just buys the boneless chicken breast now. Like it used to
Cheater.
be off the bone.
Cheater.
She's a cheater. She didn't even have pumpkin pie this year.
Uh-oh.
Right? Like seriously. And because her kids are picky. So she's like, yeah, I don't care about you, sis. I just care about my kids here who don't like chocolate, who like apple pie. And don't get me wrong, but it's pumpkin pie is like iconic. It's like the turkey, Thanksgiving Day thing. You guys, yeah. And not just with the freaking spray whip, it's with the beater stuff that you beat and add sugar to, the stuff I'm not supposed to have, like the real whipping cream. Oh, I can always remember my mom making that stuff. And then we would have like the party hats. Did you guys? We always had the crackers. I love Christmas crackers. Call me a kid because I am, but I love Christmas crackers. Oh, nope. That's
what are Christmas crackers?
Hey?
What are Christmas crackers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
know. It must be a Canadian thing.
Yeah.
Hold on. No. You guys will know what a Christmas cracker is. You guys can't say that to me. Yeah, hold on. Christmas crackers.
I'll tell you later. I am seriously cheating tomorrow. You won't even believe what I'm doing. I'll tell you when she's done.
Oh, what are you doing?
Hey, Randy, grab it. Hey, I think Frank Meister came in.
Oh,
hi, Frank Meister.
Hey, Frank
Hi,
Meister.
Randy.
Hey, Randy. How are you, boys? Hey, Frank, you missed our whole chicken breast conversation. Okay, hold on. I got to show you guys this because it's very important that you guys know what it is.
While you look for that, who's doing the turducken?
Who's doing who?
The turducken. You don't know what a turducken is?
No.
Oh, is that a turkey wrapped in a
It's a chicken wrapped inside of a duck, wrapped inside of a turkey.
Ooh.
I don't feel qualified for this conversation being a vegetarian.
You just made me want to.
Are you vegetarian?
Are you a vegetarian?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Tofu for you.
I really didn't know that. Huh.
But hey, I get to enjoy all the sides
Yes.
tomorrow, so.
Christmas
You're really gonna
crackers.
hate what I'm doing tomorrow then.
Oh,
Oh.
I know. Okay, I've seen. Okay, I've seen those.
Oh,
Sunny.
crackers.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what they're called. Christmas crackers. Yeah. What do you guys
I was
call them?
thinking food.
Oh, no. But, you know, I felt like this was for, what's his name? Richard Allen. Dear Santa, I've been good all year, no matter what the evidence might suggest. I feel like that's for him. It's probably what, yeah. Dear Santa, that's him writing his little, probably Kagan Klein is doing the same thing. Yeah. Innocent. Innocent by all accounts, but yeah.
Thank you, Miss Dog Lover.
Yeah. What Miss Dog Lover? What'd she say? She said something
Didn't
nice.
have fun, guys. I'm overdue for sleep.
Oh, bye,
Miss
Mr.
Dog Lover.
That's a member. Or Jonah just sponsored. Boom, 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 boom.
Thank you, Joni.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, you guys. Hey, let me drop the bio link. Okay. Thank you for that. The bio link, it houses the follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It houses, what else does it house? It houses the meme page. It houses the merch site. Oh, you guys gotta check out the merch. I made some really cool beer shirts yesterday. The Beer Man shirts. If you guys want a special request, I can put Beer Chick too. But I made some really cool beer shirts. I think they were cool anyway.
No, I thought they were very cool.
Did you see them? Yeah, I thought they were really cool. Anyways, you guys can check out all that stuff in the bio link. That thing that when I put bio, that houses all the Willow links in there. Well, at least as many as I put in there. Let me just put it that way. And so then there was a Francesca, whoever Francesca is. Thank you very much for purchasing. This person bought like this really nice hoodie I made. It got like it's from the trending line, like trending gamer, trending. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys. And Copper Horse had bought in another jacket last week. Copper, 5 more, please. 5. Just give him out his gifts.
CD.
Yeah. Oh, who's in the house? Who? Oh,
CD.
Oh, hey, CD. Where's CD? I didn't see him. Huh. Oh, there he is up there. Hey, CD. Hey, buddy.
Hey, CD.
Yeah, I agree, Lisa. I want to wear a carb shirt tomorrow.
Yeah, we already had Thanksgiving, so I wish we could have another Thanksgiving though. But whatever, Christmas is next. I want to wear a carb shirt tomorrow. What? You want to eat as many carbs as you possibly can?
Yeah.
Or my carbs don't
Hey,
give a crap
Sharon.
today. Hey, Sharon. How are you guys? Okay. What is today? Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday, November 23rd.
Thank you. I do get lost in my days. I truly do. So, anyways, you guys, thank you very much. So I wanted to show a couple. Well, actually, I don't know. Let's say hi. Callie and Lewis, just remind, and Adam, just remind people, especially Adam, remind people who you are again. Go ahead. Start with Adam. Adam, who are you?
Everyone knows who I am.
Damn right we do.
Oh, I don't know. We gained some subscribers while you were gone. I don't know.
That's because I was out recruiting people in Europe.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Sunny did, Sharon. It wasn't Adam.
I think that was Callie that said that.
Maybe it was Callie.
Hey, Sharon.
Who said hey, Sharon?
Yeah, I did. Hey, it was me.
Did she sound manly to you too, Sharon? Is that what happened?
I have a horrible cold right now. Don't do that.
I can hear it now that you say that. Anyways, go ahead, you guys. Do your little intros there for a sec. I'll be right back. 1 sec. Don't all talk at once. So.
Callie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody knows who I am. I'm just a viewer and just helping Sunny when she asked me to. But I wanted to tell you guys I'm doing something sacrilegious tomorrow. My son and I are going to a Brazilian steakhouse.
Are
Ooh,
you really?
Yeah, well, we tried it last year because him and I do a lot of escape rooms together,
Mm-hmm.
and we wanted to do that really bad on Thanksgiving. So we decided to go out to eat and do that, and we had an amazing time. But this year, the reason we're doing it, we're going on vacation. So I didn't want to do all the cooking and the sides and everything and then not be here to eat it. So,
Right.
or just have it go to waste or anything. So we're doing that. He loves it. I mean, it's really about the same price as if I were to cook everything. So
Yeah,
it's
why
good
not?
because Adam, I mean, they have a lot of sides and salads and things like
Right.
that. But they also have all the different kinds of meats that they kind of walk around just put on your plate is pretty much whatever you say yes to. I don't eat a lot
Wow.
of that, but I love watching him do it. He's 18. He's like never full.
Now
So,
he's going to be with you in Atlanta in December,
yeah,
right?
yeah. We may be
But
coming in from Alabama. I have something to do there. And either way, though, yeah, he'll be with me.
I remember that
cool.
song, Sweet Home
Yeah,
Alabama.
he's tall, Adam. He's a big guy.
No.
have
I
you
say
been to
my son. I
Brazil?
don't want you to think I'm bringing an 8-year-old to the HLN special. you know, Come on, let's go learn about some murder. And
Hey, do you know I talked to my son yesterday?
Did you
Oh, you
really?
Um,
did.
oh my God, great.
yeah,
That's big news.
yeah. The conversation ended when he said, "Well, if you want to give me some Christmas money, I'll take that." Yeah,
Oh, that's nice
Wow.
of him.
yeah, yeah. At first, he was really nice. I said, "Hey, son," because I had called him a couple days ago, and then he didn't answer. Then yesterday, he just messaged me back and said, "Is there something you needed?" And I'm like, "Well, I was gonna make you a hoodie. What if there's a specific deco?" He actually said, "No, I'm good, thank you. I have 6 already." And so then I was like, "Okay, well, something else. I can make you a nice little blanket with whatever, like your magic card deck, your magic card deck or whatever." And then he was like, "No, but thank you anyway." And I'm like, "Oh." And then did you say beer or bear? Beer. I said beer. And then so anyway, so yeah, so then and then later on that night, I said, "Oh, are you working now?" And then he said, "Yes, but if you want to send me some money, Christmas money, I'll take it." And I was like, as soon as I see it, I get so hurt
Yeah.
because all he ever does is just ask for money when he talks to me. The money thing comes out of his mouth, and I know my son. It's like he feels like some way that I have to owe him, and that form is in money. And so I basically, you know, whatever, teared up, called my husband into the room, like, I just,
Oh,
I know better, but I'm just like, why? Like, you just literally ruined a conversation. Thanks, though. Every time I think that you're, gonna be nice to your mom once in a, yeah,
I'm
that's all.
sorry.
Yeah, no, but talk to him. That counts, doesn't it? He answered, like, he actually messaged me back a couple days later. Does that count?
Right.
You know?
Funny. JD in the chat is asking what sign your son is.
Yeah. He's a Capricorn, like Alexa.
Excuse me.
Yeah. He's January 4th. He'll be um 26 January 4th. But anyway, but right, regardless, Kelly, besides, like the typical response that I normally expect from him at some point. Thing is that I would actually send him money for Christmas. But
Right.
it's when he puts it like that, I'm just like, dude, seriously?
Hmm.
All right, just totally ruins the conversation. But anyway, but it still counts. Still talk to him though a little bit, right?
That's
Yeah,
something. Yep.
yeah. I care. Something was better than nothing. You understand? I had to set my expectations to 0 with my son, so something's better than nothing. You know, one day one day maybe, yeah. My son will
Yeah.
be 20. Oh, Alicia, is he a little like my son?
Mhm.
No, no, all good, all good. But yeah, so like I said, so because you just have the one, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I
just have
adopted him
Yeah.
from my niece when he was an infant.
Yeah.
And I raised him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Progress. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. So, I just my husband doesn't have children and he never wanted any. That's why I even entertained that relationship in the first place, because I knew he didn't want children, and I was just hoping he kept his promise. He likes children, but he can't stand whiny children. He cannot stand to listen to the voices when we're out in public of children around us. It just irritates him. Whereas I'm just like, oh, honey, they're just having fun, but he hates the sound. He hates the sound, literally. And so, but like,
it's usually the parents I hate the sound of.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I can't help it. They're just, I love kids, love kids, love kids, love kids. So I only ever had one, but it wasn't like I planned it to have just one, but it's just the way it worked out. My twin has like 4 kids, so she'd always say that I was trying to take hers, and I was like, no, but hey, I'll take them because I'm pretty darn good, better parent, I think. She can. She's my sister's she's a yeller, but she's a good parent, but she was always a yeller. I could hear her a block away yelling. I'd be like, do you realize the whole freaking block can hear you? Do you know? Because the windows are open, and I'd be coming down, and I'd just be like, because she has a voice that can just carry. It just carries. And I was just be like, because Paigey is the firstborn, then there's Haley, and then there's Shay, and then there's Jevin. And so she always said, I don't want a boy. I don't want a boy. She has a boy. Well, that boy, not only does he look identical to her, that's her favorite kid, I swear now. Because she's like, they're just so easy. They're so much easier than girls. And I'm like, I know, right? They just are. They are. They just are. I don't like, meaning boys are just, my son was a breeze, actually. Put him on a bike, off he pedaled. He was just a good kid, actually, until he got older, till he hit the divorce land. Anyways, Lewis.
Yes.
You have one child, a daughter.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. And look at this, the onesies. Except for who doesn't belong here then? Yeah.
But he loves his niece like his own children, right?
I do. All 3 of them. I have 3 nieces, and I love all 3 of them.
It's close. 3 girls, 2 boys. Yeah. Whoops. There we go. Anyways, you guys. So, Lewis, just quickly remind everybody about yourself, and then we'll, I guess, get on with the show.
I'm just hanging around here and having some fun. And
yeah, right.
I can't answer questions.
Yeah. Hey, fam. Yeah. Don't forget, you guys, Peace Not Silence. He's supporting LGBTQ for Christmas. And like myself, he sent me a link. And actually, Peace, you sent me another one. Am I supposed to put that one to my community page as well? So always these good things. It's always nice to help people out around the Christmas time, for sure. Especially for people that have stuff and or have extra, and they can do things, because when you think about it, like, there really is, a lot of families that we just don't even think about that, have children that they can't afford to buy stuff for. Maybe their house burnt down just before Christmas. Who knows? Lots of. It's a very depressing time. It's probably the highest time that people commit suicide and stuff like that. Sadly.
Sunny, you know what? I forgot. I completely forgot what we did. I don't think we mentioned on Monday. It was the anniversary of the Flora fires.
Yeah.
Yes. I meant to put that in a video, but then I was already at my 3 videos that day. So meaning if I would have put it out, it really wouldn't have got any notifications to it. And then I kind of felt bad because I was watching the Flora fires, and sorry. And I did mean to bring that up because the Flora fire girls, there's another case right there that is so sad. And in fact, I wanted to, possibly reach out to that aunt You can tell that she's okay. The interview I was watching, guys, the aunt, very forthright, said, "Look, we were here before Delphi. Why doesn't anybody care about us? Why does everybody just care about Delphi?" And the truth of the matter is, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. You know, everyone focuses so much on Delphi, including us. And we bring up the Flora fires very little in comparison to now.
Absolutely.
When I came over to Delphi, I had no clue about no Flora fires whatsoever
Same.
at all. So it wasn't like it was intentional. I'm like a one person type of thing. I do one thing in a sense at a time, and I'll do it and I'll work it out till I just built that way. And then to add all these other side things is, you know what I mean? It's
Oh yeah.
if you only are doing it like, here, let me just cover this story a little bit each night, but you're not really invested like how I was with Delphi and have been, in a sense, when I first brought the channel up. Like I said, it wasn't about ignoring other ones. I didn't know, but I also know my balance in life as well. And it's already draining enough. Some people, like I said, will talk about all the different types of stories going on, and each to their own how they do their channels like that. But yeah, felt really bad now that you say that, because I was watching it. Was going to stick it in one of the videos, opted not to, because I really didn't want to put it in with, because it was the day of the.
It was yesterday. I'm sorry, it was yesterday. It was the 22nd.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the day of the. Was that yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Oh,
Hey, Mel.
dang. See?
Seems like days ago, doesn't it?
Oh my God!
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I felt like it was 2 days ago now.
And I'm wearing my Flora fires. I'm wearing my bracelet.
We got our bracelets. Kristen from True
thank
Behind
you,
the Front.
Kristen, again.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's do a couple things first. Let's first of all, and then I'll play that little clip from the Flora fires as well. Yeah, what a day for that to kind of overlap with, of course. But let me just quickly go to this. Okay, so, oops, I guess I got to share the screen, don't I? Okay, hold on. Okay, and then okay, let me just take this down for a sec, okay, guys? Okay, so it says from Becky Patty, and I know that all you guys have probably seen this already. It said, "Yesterday was a long, hard day, and I'm glad it is finally over. The one question many were asking the families is, how do we feel? Actually, that's a tough question to answer. When we were called in and told Ellie had someone in custody, I thought I would be elated. But then you stop and think about all the new lives that will be affected by the person being arrested and realize it's really is sad. The next phase then starts. Society mandates that anyone arrested is only accused and innocent until proven guilty. So in that case, if he is still innocent, how am I supposed to be mad, angry, and hate this person? But then I remember the police have evidence indicating he is guilty. So it is okay to be mad, angry, and hate this person. Then you have the constitutional rights come into play. Now we have to focus on making sure the accused person's rights are protected. I am okay with that, as I want a clean conviction of whoever did this horrible crime to Abby and Libby. But then I think, what about Abby and Libby's rights? I feel like in all of this chaos, the focus of doing what is best for the rights and attaining justice are being trampled and forgotten. So when he walked into the courtroom and I saw him for the first time, all these emotions and thoughts were running through my mind at the same time, and I didn't know how to feel. I guess my answer to that question is confused. I am just confused. Okay. So what do you guys, let's see here. So what are your, I mean, I totally, to be honest with you guys, I didn't read that up until that very second. I seen it, but I sometimes like to do things just as they're organically and natural. And so as I read that, I get it. I get it, because that's what goes through my head too. You're innocent until proven guilty, but yet they have this evidence, that says this and then you see this person, but yet they're not considered guilty yet, and yet you're having to look at this person that they have enough evidence for, but yet the law states. So I absolutely get it. How did you guys, just hearing that yourselves, what's your thoughts? Anybody?
It puts me in a weird position because the way she feels there would almost be where somebody would want the information that's in there for the arrest to be out there so people actually know what's going on. And I still don't know if they have a clue what's in the probable cause, because if it's sealed, then legally, did the family have a right to see that or not? Because if it's sealed, I don't think that they'd be able to see it was in the documents either. So they're probably in the same quandary that we are, not knowing what this evidence is. So that's got to be horrible on them if they don't know either, and they've got to go into this as a Hail Mary and say that we have to trust. And on top of trusting, you then have to give the other person their rights too. So that's got to be a very hard position to be in for them.
Yeah. What about you, Adam?
Same. I mean, I kept thinking of that when we were talking on yesterday during the hearing, that that it shouldn't be lost on the fact that that was the first time they were going to be walking in that courtroom and coming face to face with him, and I couldn't imagine the emotions that would be going through their head. So to see that her post that today, it just kind of reiterated what I kind of assumed would be what they'd be thinking already, but it did. It just broke my heart for them.
Yeah. What about you, Callie?
The same. I mean, all day yesterday, I was heavy in my heart about these families, and she pretty much. I mean, I don't think she could have written that any better, as far as what she's possibly feeling. But here's what we have to understand. Like, we heard the defense saying they don't know anything about another guy. There's no evidence. That's just a tactic. I mean, you see all these comments on YouTube, but that is strictly a tactic. You think that guy didn't really know who Keegan Kline was? Straight up lying about that. So unfortunately, the family's gonna hear these things and maybe get nervous like we do when we hear them. But we have to, be strong, not let the rumors get the best of us, and be sure that if the prosecution has told the families that they believe they have their guy, then that's what we need to focus on, because it's very, very concerning when you start hearing the defense team already literally kind of choose that tactic. And that's got to be horrible for them. We're uncomfortable with it. It's got to be horrible for them.
Why would he lie? He doesn't know who Keegan Kline is. That just makes him look uninformed. Well, I mean, I get the fact that they're new to the case, but I don't think that they were buried in a hole myself either.
Exactly.
But maybe, I mean, I'd find it hard to believe that he didn't know who Keegan Kline is. But again, everything's always usually about tactics anyway and stuff. So maybe it is, maybe it's not, Dave, to be honest with you. Who knows?
I maintain that I don't think there is anyone else mentioned in the affidavit. I think there's probably someone else involved, but I don't think there's another name in there.
Yeah.
I have to jump here and say this. If you don't follow Delphi, I don't think he actually meant he doesn't know who Keegan Kline is. It sounded more like he had no idea what the situation with him is. But if you don't follow Delphi, there's a good chance that you're not following the Keegan Kline case. So he might know the name, he might know that they're charges, but he might not actually know who Keegan Kline is and how he fits into this. So that's the take I took from his interview.
Yeah. That crossed my mind when he said that, actually. Just because he said, like, this is 6 days ago that we were, whatever it was. But
I just want to know how Keegan Kline and him are connected. Because, I mean, I do think they are somehow. I just don't know. I just don't know how.
Right.
It's all speculation. But...
Yeah.
Adam, while you were gone, I think that maybe you know about this. I'm sure you do. But there was a post on the media about somebody confirming that they said there was nothing found in the river. And we all kind of talked about that a lot. And agreed that that's probably not true. But
Yeah, I don't think it's true.
exactly, but that they actually put that in the press that there was nothing connected. And I just wanted to say that because I know you were off during that time. And we were all just like, yeah, I don't think so.
Right. And he's seen that article, or I believe, or knew about it.
I
I
don't know if
believe.
I had or not.
Yeah. Well, I think we talked about it a little bit on that
Okay.
live because you were kind of behind. Like, I wasn't sure what you had read or kept up with or anything.
Okay.
But it was on Wish TV 8 when they said that the Delphi is connected, that a police basically a police source said that Delphi and Kevin Klein were connected, blah, 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 that there was nothing found in the search during that 5-week stint and stuff like that. And most of us, I think, said, yeah, bull to that. But, we don't know for sure, but that's where that was at, the Wish TV 8, about the police source, and then that's why on Hammer and Nigel,
Oh, that's right.
yeah, they specifically.
I just reread that transcript today with the interview with Carter.
See, this is one of the negative side effects of them being so tight-lipped on everything.
Mhm.
Media has to put stuff out, otherwise it falls out of everyone's earshot. So in order to create a headline, they have to put out what they're hearing. And if the only sources they're getting it from are not from law enforcement, they have to take the next, option that they get and put something out as a headline. So the more misinformation comes from them being so tight-lipped.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't become the case, then it drops out of the news and then nobody has any clue what's going on. And the only reason that this case has been kept so active in the news for so many years is because of speculation and people putting out rumors and ideas. Otherwise, you'd have a dead case here, and that would not be a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, that Michaela says the gamemanship between the defense and the prosecution has begun. Yeah. So, you know what? I'm going to show 2 clips. Well, one's a bit longer, but the first one I'm going to show is Paul Keenan. Now, Paul Keenan was actually the one that I was emailing to the FBI. That was actually the guy. And then one day I decided, because I only emailed him a few times during the time of the Delphi case. And then one day it comes back like, like that it didn't get received. And I'm like, so I said to the person who originally gave me it, I'm like, what the heck? So the person was like, yeah, no problem. I'll get you a couple other FBIs to send it to or whatever. And didn't happen. But I decided I was going to Google Paul Keenan. And sure enough, it said he retired back in 2021. And I'm like, oh, that's why it bounced back. Here I was going, why? Like, why would he block me? Like, maybe did he change positions, change emails? And then I realized, yeah, thanks to my own detective work on that one. So, but anyway, so that's who I was emailing. So when I saw it, when I watched the thing, I'm like, only because for so long, I remember there were so many people that were like, nope, one person. And now a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon going, yeah, I knew it was more than one. Like, yeah. Okay. So meaning, and then I realized it was Paul Keenan that was talking. I was like, oh, wait a second. Okay. That was the person that I actually sent info to. So just because a friend had given me, works on other cases, had given me that email, but little did I know he retired in 2021. Anyway, so I'm going to play that clip real quick, and then we'll be right back. Okay, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go back up here again, and then we'll stop screen. Okay. So thoughts on that?
Well, we all know from earlier law enforcement interviews, like with Tobe, they've mentioned 2 or more multiple times. So
Right.
it's not a new thing, and people have followed this from the beginning that they've thought there was more than one suspect.
Most thought it was one for a long time, and then there was a lot of people that thought, I'd say it was somewhat split there. When I look at things, because there was so many people that thought it was one, other people whatever. But what struck
But
me is
that was not new to law enforcement. Law enforcement's always gone back and forth.
yeah.
Right.
So
my question is though, what benefit at all does it provide the prosecution to allude to the fact that there's someone else involved? Because I feel like all you're doing is providing the defense with the opportunity that they're taking to say, my client is innocent. So I mean, why would the prosecution be like, oh, we think there's more than one person involved? You're providing reasonable doubt already.
Yeah.
Unless they have something for sure that ties it, like DNA from Libby or Abby at his house.
right.
Because otherwise they would be screwing the pooch in a way to put that out there, because it creates reasonable doubt. But if truly they do have something that ties him to that crime scene, then they can say whatever they want, because basically it doesn't matter if 1 or 5 more people are involved. That just proves that he was there.
True.
At this point. So I don't know. We don't know.
All it does is prove that he was there, not that he was. He already admitted that he was out there. He went right away and said that. So if they found something as property, he could just say that's something I found while I was out there that day. They need something that actually connects him to what happened. So it's not going to just be something. I mean, technically, they're going to be able to shoot down anything if it's just a piece of evidence that he had at his property, unless they've got proof that he actually physically committed the crime.
Yeah,
that's going to be a very tough one for them to fight if they're still going to be out there saying that we're after somebody else and that's not in his PCA.
Well, CD says, yeah, but once Richard Allen was arrested, I took a lot of shit for saying it's still multiple. Little Red Riding Hood didn't have 2 bad wolves in the same forest unless they worked together or whatever. I've always said it was multiple. I'll never go off of that since the start. It just seems too. It just seems too unlikely to me.
And they've not actually come out and said that he committed them. They keep saying he's involved.
He's involved. That was
it's a very telling thing there. Also, it could be very accurate that he's not physically responsible for murder, and that's why the PCA doesn't say that he is, because they've never said that. They just keep saying he's involved in the crime that was connected to the murder, and that's why the charges are the way they are. So he could have not even been there when it happened. He could have been part of the whole plot to get the girls there, and he could be charged with that. He could have been gone way before the murders even happened and still be charged the way he's being charged.
That's true, but I don't think that they would have gone to the Patties and Anna Williams and said this is the guy that killed him.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the part that holds me up. Like, he has more involvement, I think, than just being around or an accessory or something. Or I don't think they would have explained it the way they did to the families.
Unless he's responsible for getting them there, and he's responsible then for the crime and the actions that took place from him getting them there. So, I mean, there could be a million different ways he's tied to it, not just physically being the one that committed the crime.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying that I think that would have been handled differently with a family.
I mean, it would justify the defense's statements from the PCA saying there's nothing in there that says he's responsible for murder. That could be 100% accurate. It could just be that he was responsible for getting them there or whatever happened beforehand. And that could be a way that both sides are correct, and it comes off that way from listening to both sides.
Who debunked this?
I'm trying to give the prosecution the benefit of the doubt, and then not slam the defense attorneys for coming up with something that's not accurate, because I don't think they would do that, because that would hurt the case. So for both sides to be accurate with what they're doing, there is a good chance that he physically was not responsible for it, but did lead up to them getting there, or led up to what happened to them there.
See, and I've read that completely different. I feel like everything that they've said. I feel like they're alluding to him being the murderer, alleged murderer. And I agree with, like Callie said, I don't think they would have brought that to the families. I don't think Becky Patty would have come out and said, this is the monster.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But defense attorneys take this tactic regularly. All they really want is to create reasonable doubt. And it's hard to ever know if they truly believe this guy or not. They will say that, they will stand behind their client. Right. And maybe it's not a lie, maybe I shouldn't use that word, but this is a strategy they use all the time. Yeah. And all they have to do is prove reasonable doubt. And they're starting that well right now, honestly. If you were like an analyst, they scored. I mean, everybody said yesterday it was like defense 1, prosecution 0.
Well,
yesterday went.
Mm-hmm. And it's because of all the secrecy to it. So it basically gave an opening to the defense to, play off of that because, but then there's that part of it that you kind of know is saying like, just wait,
Right.
We're going to drop the news. Don't you worry, but we just need the time. It's not. But what I thought was interesting, can I say, when Paul Keenan said, well, okay. First of all, whoever else is involved, you're an absolute idiot if you didn't get rid of any evidence. Because what I thought was kind of odd, not odd, but maybe a little, was just the fact when Keenan said, well, because you don't want to give that, say, maybe the other person or persons involved a head start so that, whoever else is involved knows that they're involved, and they would be an absolute idiot if they had any sort of evidence around whatsoever after almost 6 years. You'd be an absolute flakehead. Like, so if Richard Allen has this evidence in his backyard buried and stuff like that, idiot.
You mean the cat?
The cat, whether there was a gun, whether there was clothing.
Well, I do think they found a gun. I do think they found a gun in his house.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, you'd have to be an absolute flakehead to sit there and be part of this crime, knowing how huge it is, and think that, like, there's certain things that happen. Dogs come to crime scenes. Yeah. They check your own freaking yard. They check everyone around you. Those are just common sense things. So you got Paul Keenan who's going, well, you don't want to give them a chance to flee. So what? So the person's not in jail then? So it's not hate crime?
Right.
See,
his statement is completely disproven if you look at it from the aspect of another party being involved. If you're not releasing the PCA because it protects somebody's identity that might be involved, and they're not blind, they know what's going on, they've listened to the news, they know he's been arrested. If they're connected to him, they know that something's going on. And by keeping it secret, it can only be a tactic of trying to flush them out if they don't know who it is. But if they know who it is, keeping it sealed doesn't protect the person from getting rid of stuff because they don't know their name's mentioned.
Well,
if they were there and they were involved, they know their name is mentioned. They know.
Yeah. Right. Like
that's the only person that is aware with it being sealed is the other person, if there is one
other
that's involved.
Person or persons.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's mute. I don't think there's another name in it.
Yeah.
Say it again, Adam?
I think that's all mute because I don't think there is another name in it. I think the defense attorney was telling the truth when he said there's no other name in it.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Probably because they don't have to provide that, though, right?
They don't. Only 51%. They do not have to put everything in there.
And why would they? If they, which to me, that what it means is that it doesn't mean that Keegan Klein's not involved. It means that Keegan Klein is not the person that gave Richard Allen's name to police.
Correct.
That led them back to.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I want to know who is it that said it was a clerical error with that to Craig Renfro guy? Because remember, that's the alias name that attaches to like those nasty people. So I'm curious, who's the one that said, "Oh, that's just a clerical error"? I just curious. Like,
I think that was just a hypothetical when they changed it and took it off of the documents. That people assumed it was a clerical error, but it doesn't mean it is. That could be a way of protecting him if his name is in there.
I'm not so sure that it is a clerical error, to be honest with you.
You're going to see a lot of that, guys, throughout this trial. there's going to be things leaked from the defense, and I don't think anybody here is saying, I don't know, I'm kind of half watching chat. I don't think anybody here is saying the prosecution is lying. I have hunches that if you don't want to call it lying, that the defense is going to use tactics that would be questionable ethically, but that's normal for a defense attorney, to be honest. But no, I don't think that the prosecution's lying. They just didn't have to reveal that yet. It will have to come out in discovery, but they don't have to put that on the table at this point.
No, but they most likely will have to put that out when they do the bond hearing, because they do have to present their case in order to present why they're holding bond. And that's when the defense will probably get most of the stuff that's being held back from discovery now.
Yeah, they could, go further and say, okay, well, we found the gun that matches the casing. We found a piece of that, a trophy, or, some other kind of DNA. They could list those things. They don't have to. But as far as like another person being listed, anybody that knows that Richard Allen got arrested is already gone. They're at the airport. They're in hiding. I mean, you'd have to be really a fool to, if you were involved and see this guy that you worked with, let's say, you'd be gone.
At the least, they'd make sure that there was nothing available to connect them. They wouldn't keep anything that was evidence, and then they could roll with, I'm here, you've got nothing that connects me. But you're right. Keeping it sealed doesn't keep them from knowing what happened in the news and who's arrested. Mm-hmm. If they were involved, they're aware of what happened.
That's a good point, CD.
Yeah, they might have confidential informants in the PCA, but they should only be listed as a number, not a name, to keep them safe.
See, that's all stuff that would be easily covered up by releasing the document, and at least give the community something that says, here's why we finally arrested him, and you guys were safe all this time because this is why. And then puts people at more ease, and they're not questioning over and over again what's going on. I mean, you've got everything beforehand that puts doubt in people's mind, like the judge leaving. He had his little mental breakdown and did that publicly, and the next day recused himself. And that makes people feel uneasy when the judge that signed all this stuff couldn't handle the case.
For me personally, still, I don't give a shit what anyone else is out there saying, regardless of it all. Like, meaning all these hypotheses, all these whatever thoughts and whatever. I'm just waiting as each milestone comes. As each milestone comes, I'm just kind of absorbing it all, having my own special thoughts, and letting it play out. Like, meaning, the thoughts, don't get me wrong, the thoughts help people kind of think of something that they maybe didn't think about. That's the whole point of talking about it, debating about it, whatever. And for me, it's like, okay, well, next hurdle is pretty much, I guess, what, February 17th.
Right.
That's crazy.
I can't. If I'm Richard Allen's defense attorney, I would be like, wait, we can't have a bond hearing until February 17th.
Yeah.
Right. That does blow me away. So there's nothing really.
I'm not saying I want him to get bond at all. I'm not saying that at all.
Right.
Sorry, Sunny, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. But that's kind of so. There's barely anything supposedly in that PCA that really attaches him too much. Like, there's not any of this smoking gun evidence or whatever. But hey, let's just hold off till February 17th. Because
Well, we'll get the redacted version of it before then.
Yeah.
Any guesses? I'm thinking Monday. I think she just wanted the family to have their holidays I think Monday.
Yeah. I mean, so let's go over this quickly, because we have this letter by the press release by McLeland's office. The Carroll County Prosecutor's Office appreciates the judge hearing on our arguments yesterday morning and looks forward to our ruling. As I stated in court yesterday, we strongly believe that the evidence shows Richard Allen was involved. See, there's that word, involved, where before it was like murdered, like CD was saying too, in the murder of Libby and Abby. Because the investigation is ongoing and given the intense public interest in this case, we still think it would be best if the documents remain sealed. Regardless of the ruling, we believe we have a solid case against Mr. Allen and look forward to making our argument in trial. Okay? Well, I mean, let me put it this way. do I believe? Okay, I think that Carroll County, regardless, I think that there are a bunch of corrupted mofo's out there. Not all, but do I believe that Abby's and Libby's case is being held back because of all the corruption and stuff like that? No, I just think that there's a lot of really corrupt people out there, and I know that for the fact of listening to things and the information that Tiara has given me along the way. Someone that was more involved with, or you know, had done her thing or whatever with certain individuals and stuff like that. She was,
She had a bad boy under her thumb.
yeah. So, but as regardless, I just think like, and that Mike Thomas guy, he stepped down. His last day, I think, will be December 11th or 12th, I believe it was. Mike Thomas, right? So, let me put it this way. So, I'm not a big fan of Carroll County for sure at all, and all of the stuff that I see going on or hear and just watch, whatever. But whatever.
But then is it true that Carroll County hasn't had a jury trial in over a year?
Oh, really? I don't know what that.
I don't know if I was told that. I don't know. I didn't verify it, but I was like, really?
I no clue on that one. So I was just gonna say that I just think that I think that they have some good evidence with Richard Allen. I think it's safe to say that really they do have some really good evidence on Richard Allen. I can't see them being so careless and so incompetent that they would make an arrest prematurely. I think still that it happened, that the knowledge came to them rather recently. And I think they're just trying to get their ducks and things in a row and make sure certain. I think that the whole other person thing, yeah, okay, whatever out there. But I also think that it's a playing card for them as well to buy some more time to get their ducks in a row. That's kind of how I feel. I don't know if you guys kind of feel that way, but I just kind of feel like they're playing the social media blood card. They're using whatever they can so that they can buy themselves some more time to put their ducks in a row. That's how I feel. You guys feel that at all or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely is a part of it. I think that the biggest reason they want the affidavit sealed is because I don't think it's because it contains anything damning. I think it's because it's more of anything. It's an embarrassment to them that they were so slow on acting on the information and the stuff that's in it that they had at the very beginning of the case.
See, I don't think that they should feel bad about that because you've got so many others that looked at it also. And if this is something that was there that everybody missed for 5.5 years and they finally discovered it, it's not like you just had locals looking at it. The FBI was involved. They had everything reevaluated by Georgia's Bureau of Investigation. They sent them everything. They must have missed whatever this is. And then in 19, they had the new investigation team that looked into it with 2 more detectives and a whole bunch of investigators. And they hopefully didn't miss something, but that's the way it seems again. So it's very odd that whatever they had back then that they just found again, if that's what it is, was only found by them recently. And everybody else in the world overlooked it for 5.5 years. That just doesn't sit right with me.
Hey, Lewis.
Yeah.
Did you see this? CD says, Lewis, I might possibly know you, but we can talk offline about it.
Yeah, when he put up that earlier, that's why I put that, because we might know each other from when I was in the Bronx. So that's why I was curious. But yeah, if he wants to get a hold of me, he can message me on Facebook.
Yeah, I'll send him your link.
Yeah, send it to him, because I'd be curious when I saw that comment, because if not, he probably knows family because
he says
their involvement.
No, not him. Wait, who's talking about now? Who are you talking about on that one, City? on there. Anyway, CD, bless prayers for you and your family. Why does my avatar always just?
And I would say, I would say, I agree, Nancy. I agree. I do think they have the goods on Richard Allen. I was just saying. I just think that they are a little embarrassed that it's taken them this long to act on the information, because I think they've had the information for a long time.
I'm just hoping that the information they have is not just really a lot of circumstantial that they put together and then a light bulb went off in their head, and now it just doesn't hold as much weight as they thought it did, so now they're holding back.
Right.
That's what worries me.
I was curious. I don't know if it's the same in every state, but I don't know. Like, so, all the evidence they have, the totality of them they have, wouldn't be in the affidavit. That would be in the discovery aspect of the case. Yeah. And I don't know how, like, at what point do they have to turn discovery over to the defense? Do they have, like, the defense doesn't necessarily have the discovery yet, correct?
No, they will have to, and I think that's, everyone keeps saying they're trying to push for this bail thing. In Indiana, the tactic for pushing for a bail hearing means that the state has to present a good part of their case in order to request the bail be withheld or the amount. And that's a way for defense to get more discovery released to them before they actually go to trial.
Right.
So I think that's a very smart thing that the defense is doing there.
So the defense right now is saying the case is flimsy and that they don't have, that it's a weak case or whatever you called it. They don't know. They don't know what evidence that the state has. All they know, the only evidence they know so far that the state has is what's listed in the affidavit. Right. So when they talk about it being a weak case, they might just be talking about what's in the affidavit being weak. They don't have the totality of the discovery, because I do think they have a lot of information on Richard Allen, and I think they have more than circumstantial. Yeah. I think it might have started as circumstantial, but I do think that they have validated and come up with some very concrete things that tie him to the scene, to the murder, and after the fact.
See, what I have a big question on, and this would actually determine the info that's in the probable cause affidavit, is how Indiana did that. There's two ways that this can happen. Somebody in law enforcement can find something that they feel is damning. They could actually write their own probable cause, go in there and make an arrest without a warrant, and then create a charge document and put that into evidence. That means the probable cause would not be really detailed. It would just give whatever information led to that officer making that decision at the time. And that could have been something that came from, finding something in the house with the search. So if they found something that they felt was incriminating and they didn't have time to go to a judge or the DA, they would just write up that probable cause that way, arrest him, and then do a charge document they would send to the judge. The other way could be that they found something incriminating, and what they would wind up doing with that is they would present that to the DA, or the DA would be the one that finds it, would present that to the judge for an arrest warrant, and the probable cause affidavit that went in for the warrant would be way more detailed than the one that would be written by law enforcement to make an immediate arrest. So if anybody knows which of the two is the situation here, that would tell if this is a very detailed document or not real detailed that might have included names that shouldn't be, because it was, somebody in law enforcement just trying to get an arrest right away.
It's 9 pages.
But that could be either way, because it could include the charge document. So it could have been a 3 or 4 page thing that an investigator wrote up, or 5 page or 9 page, reason why they're going in to make the arrest. It doesn't mean that it was the information that would be going in for an arrest warrant. That would be something just to cover their butts for making the arrest without getting a warrant. And Indiana does it both ways. So I'm just not sure which way it was done here. And that would completely change the way the document's put together.
I think they were written together.
Yeah. I know shit about the law. Just saying.
I just know they have to prove over 50% that what they're asking for is legitimate. They don't have to ask for 100% or put 100% on the table. Only 51%. And I think that based on what we're kind of hearing, that sounds like what they did.
Okay. You guys, I want to play this clip. It's from the University of the Idaho murders. But the reason why I want to play it and prayers for that, those people as well, for the Idaho murders. It's one that I cut. Hey,
Is this the press conference from today?
it is the part
I
that I'm,
watched.
yeah, the part that I'm going to play though is when he's going to be basically talking about how, like they collect evidence and stuff like that. Like basically the steps and how things are done. So I think he's just trying to give the public knowledge. Like, look, this is, you know, we have like 143 or whatever pieces of evidence. Um, this is how things are done. So I'm just going to play it. You guys, so you know, chill out for a minute. I'll play it and then we'll come back again. Okay, guys. Thanks for like this nice little you know, debate about the different things going on tonight. It's always interesting to hear all different things, right? Especially for myself. I don't know crap all about the law over there. I'm from Canada, first of all. But I don't really know crap all about the law side. So I just let people who know about it more talk, and I'm just here to listen and, you know, and CDs in the house, you know, as well. Um, so let me play this and we'll be back in a minute. Okay.
Thank you, Captain, and thank you for those that are in attendance today for your attendance. We really appreciate this. What has affected Moscow and the community here has affected all of us as Idahoans. We have a way in Idaho that the communities come together in tough times, and this is one of those tough times. Leads from the community are important, and as the captain spoke, no tip is too small, and we would urge anybody that has any information whatsoever to please provide that to help us solve this case. The lead agency of this case is Moscow Police Department with Chief Fry and his dedicated team of professionals, and the Idaho State Police's role is to support them and their good work here. There is an awful lot of efforts going on behind the scenes, and I'll explain why it's behind the scenes in just a moment. But what can't be seen isn't always known of what we do in law enforcement. And I'd like to explain that in just a moment. But the Idaho State Police and the FBI continue to provide resources to this investigation. I would like to speak for just a moment, if I could, not about this specific case, but rather an overview of how cases are investigated, so that maybe it'll give some sense of the why of the timeline here. We understand you want answers. We want answers too. But these take time, and if I could explain just a minute about the process here of what we go through just generally in investigations. So we use in advanced investigative techniques and crime scene processing. So what happens when a call comes in, the original officers, the first officers that respond to a scene, and then once that they've got their work there and determined that they need some additional investigative assistance, then they call investigators to come and help process that scene. And oftentimes it requires a forensics team to help process that scene. And when I say process the scene, what we're looking for any evidence that may help us to be able to find the people or person responsible for what we're seeing. And so we're collecting biological evidence, we're collecting latent evidence, whether it's shoe prints or tire marks or anything like that. We're trying to collect that evidence. We're trying to correct, we do that through photographs, we do that through 3D mapping to be able to map the scene. We identify and we mark evidence, and then we collect that evidence. And then we look for any evidence that we think may be helpful. And once that is done, then we package all that evidence up and we send it off to forensics laboratories to be analyzed to see if it can help provide clues of what's happening. All of this takes an immense amount of time. The reason this is important to understand is because it's important that while this is such a tragic circumstance that we find ourselves in law enforcement, we believe we owe this to the surviving families to get this right. And so we're not willing to sacrifice speed for quality. We do testing for blood. We do latent print processing, any documentations for anything at the scene so that we can reconstruct that scene at a later date. If I could share just a few statistics of this particular crime scene. At this crime scene, we collected 103 pieces of individual evidence. We took approximately 4,000 photographs. We've conducted multiple 3D scans of the residents, and we have hundreds of hours used by technicians and investigators, including our forensics team and detectives from multiple agencies. We've processed over 1,000 total tips and conducted 150 interviews. I hope that you understand that gives a little bit of a perception of just how complex this case is. We have the utmost confidence in this investigation and that this investigation will be done right. We ask you and we ask the public to please remain patient as this investigation unfolds. And please rely on official sources of information. We really appreciate the media's assistance. We know you have a job to do. We know that you're professionals and you do it to the best of your ability. And we're thankful that you're here, because without you, we could not get the correct information to the community that could help us solve this. So I can't overemphasize how much I appreciate and we appreciate in law enforcement your willingness to do this. What you are doing matters. And it matters in what we are committed to doing, and that is to the best way we can think of to honor these victims and their families is to conduct this investigation correctly. Finally, I'd like to share that I've been in regular contact with Idaho's Governor Brad Little throughout this investigation. Governor Little is making available up to $1 million for expenses related to this ongoing investigation. As you heard, the resources that are here in Moscow and throughout with this investigation, you can see that those expenses would add up quickly. Like all Idahoans, Governor Little is deeply saddened by the loss of these 4 bright and promising young lives. And he's making sure the state of Idaho provides all of the resources possible to ensure that the person or persons responsible for this are brought to justice. And now I'd like to turn the time over to the University of Idaho President, Scott Green.
Good afternoon, I'm Scott Green, President of the University of Idaho. We deeply appreciate the kind words of support we have been receiving from our alumni and friends, as well as many others who may not know us but have taken time to reach out. People are donating to the victims' GoFundMe pages and the Bruce Pittman Fund for Students in Need. And they're buying personal devices for our students and continuing to look for other ways that they can help. This is what it means to be a vandal. In the last 24 hours, we have sent updated communications to our students, employees, parents, and alumni. And in those communications, we discuss campus security, services available to our students and employees, our plans for both remote and live instruction to close the semester, and our plans for a candlelight vigil on November 30. All of this is available on our website. We all want swift justice and continue to work with law enforcement to aid them in.
Okay, I'm going to take it off there because that's still quite a long ways to go, and I wasn't planning on watching a half an hour worth of that, but I'm going to drop the link for that press conference if anyone hasn't seen it yet. I just thought it was really important that people, again, like, I just really like the fact that he was explaining to people, like, okay, you know, this isn't something that's just going to happen overnight. We need to process, you know, all of this evidence. We got 4,000 pictures, and everyone's just, you know, the public, you know, now. So I thought it was just something I wanted to share with you guys, because obviously we know things don't happen overnight. Obviously, it's been 5.5 years for Delphi. You know, so anyways, what do you guys think? I mean, the case in itself is just horrific, sad.
Oh, horrific.
Yeah, you know, it's probably going to end up being. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I've spent quite a bit of time looking into it since I got back, because it happened while I was gone, and so I really didn't know much about it until I came back, and I've definitely kind of been absorbed with it the last couple of days.
Yeah, and I liked how they excluded certain people. You know, like
Yeah.
You know, that was really nice that they said, hey, look, we don't believe this person's involved. People are trying to attack this person named Jack. The mom,
which one?
I know. Yeah. the one, I can't think of which girl it was.
There's Jack D, there's Jack S, there's other Jack.
Jack, you know.
There's a Jake.
I know, right? But it was like, I can't think of who the mother was. I can't think of what the girl's name was that the mother spoke out about, saying, "Hey, look, Jack and her have been boyfriend and girlfriend for a long time, and although they had split up, they had still remained really close and talked to each other all the time." And so, he put it out there in that press conference that he's
Yeah.
not a suspect.
Yeah, that was
Um,
Kaylee's ex-boyfriend.
Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you.
Yeah, she's the one that they say may have had a stalker, but the sister is saying that she would know, and she didn't. There was no evidence of that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be one of those things, like they said. Do you guys believe it's a very personalized attack, murder?
That's what the coroner said.
Yeah. Well, and Alexa knows all about this stuff, right? Um, she's driving today, or else she probably might have joined us. But she is, like said, this is like her forte right here, right? You can tell if a crime scene is more personalized, or um, just by the signs of it. And chances are this is going to be, yeah, like a very personalized thing. And you know what? I'm sorry, but all that goes through my head, and I can't help it. It just reminds me of when I was listening to another story again. There are so many murders out there because of jealousy. And, like, if you can't have her, or you can't have him, then I got to basically kill that. Like, it's like, I'm sure, I don't even know what the numbers are, but I'm sure it's astronomical. And that's why, for me personally, being in a jealous relationship, my first one, which was 11 years, and the abuse, and it's like I couldn't wear my hair a certain way, or else I looked like a sloat. I couldn't wear, and you know what? I was never a person that ever dressed up in things that were provocative. I just always had big boobies, big breasts or whatever. And so, but I always wore just basically, like sweatpants and t-shirts. Like, I was never a provocative type of person, really. I never was that person that walked around going, "Hey, look at my skin, look at this, look at that." Like my older sister would dress like that. I didn't. I never did. So, but anyways, it was very controlling. And it was, even with my ex-husband of 17 years, one with my son, it would got literally to the point that I literally, because he was a hunter, though, I feared for my life actually at one point. And I'm not a scared person, but there's so many cases out there that these people would have no clue. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many cases you would never think that person would ever take their life and stuff. And so I have no time of day for when it comes to jealousy. But by the same, like, when you're in a jealous relationship, when somebody else is trying to control your life,
you might not realize it in the moment, but
yeah, but people get so caught up in "I love him" and stuff like that. But then over time, you learn from your mistakes. I would hope, whether it's the abuse side or whether it's the controlling side, because
when we spew things away to justify the behavior of someone,
I get so tired of seeing these cases, but like I said, a lot of people would be unaware that their other half, or the person that they left, their boyfriend, is even capable of turning around and murdering them and stuff like that. But then there's cases, it's the ones I'm talking about is people that are in them right now, that are in abusive or jealous relationships. You always deserve the best for yourself. And it took me a long time to really figure that out, obviously in my 40s. And I was just like, nope, not putting up with it anymore. Can't, literally. But I got to that point in with my ex-husband that I was literally, the way he looked, the way his eyes looked at me this one particular day, I was like, "Who are you?" Like, you, like, I don't even, like, where I literally felt scared, and all I could think about was the gun that was in the garage, because he seemed so angry that, when somebody's pupils almost look black because they're just so angry. And I'm like, I literally had to kind of take a step back in my own thoughts and go, "Oh, maybe I should like not argue right now with him."
And Joni, I do think that all of the bodies have now been released to the families.
Yeah, they said that.
Yeah,
they said that today. Yeah.
Check the quick 90-second video. I'll put it in the Moscow Murders. 2 important questions were asked. Oh, okay. Let me take a look there, CD.
I thought the best questions that were asked were done by the student reporters, to be honest.
Was it in the live that you put the link? Was it in the? Did I miss it? Was it
I
in
think
the
you did a
live?
video a little while ago.
Oh,
What was
wait.
that, Adam?
I was just saying, I thought that the best questions that were asked today
Oh.
in the press conference were done by the student reporters.
Oh yeah, they did great.
I thought some of the questions asked by the professional reporters were the dumbest questions I've ever heard in the world. Like the
That guy
person that
that-
asked if it was a murder suicide, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, and then how did the knife miraculously disappear from the scene?
Yeah, exactly.
So that was just my take on it. Sorry,
Me too. Yeah.
I was so impressed with those student reporters, though.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel Bundy vibes on this whole thing. I don't know why, but because that's like supposedly hard to get up to that house. It's not like on a main drag or anything. So that's why I think they think it's targeted. But I don't know, man. It's starting to make me wonder if they really aren't going for the crime of passion angle, which it sounds like they're not at this point.
Right.
If they're not going to go down that road, then I don't know. You might got some really sick person there that just been waiting for time and opportunity.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, when I watched the, I can't remember if it was Court. Who I've watched so many things on it in the last 2 days, but I think it was Court TV or someone. They had a reporter go out and like do a circle of the house as well. You can only go around 3 sides of the house because one side literally attaches to another private property. But I mean, you can literally look, stand in the tree line behind the house and look in all of the windows.
See, yeah. I don't even think somebody drove. I felt like somebody. My gut. I have no
and
idea.
there's a parking lot right behind the house.
Oh, I didn't know that, but I felt like somebody who just didn't even have a car. But who in the hell does this kind of stuff these days? Like, how do you really know there aren't Ring cameras everywhere? I've got like 3 outside my house, a couple in my house. Like, seriously, and I live on the country, and knock on wood, it's really safe. But I'm telling you, like, who does this and takes those steps when they don't really know where any cameras are?
Right.
I don't know. That boggles my mind. CD probably can add to that, but I really don't get it. Like mentally, what are you thinking? Of course, there's cameras.
I think it was Court TV did a thing tonight. I think it was Vinny, what's his name, show. And they did they posted like a 30-minute video, and it was really good.
Oh, good. I'll have to check that out.
Let's let me just quickly play CD's video. You guys, if you guys aren't subbed to CD, again, I'm just dropping. You guys can follow it through this link. The analysis of a crime with CD. Yeah, let's just watch his intro as we do it too. So be right back again in a sec.
Will there be any possibility of the release of the 911 phone call, even in transcript form?
Not at this time. That's part of our investigation.
Frankie Beer, the Daily Evergreen. I guess the Moscow PD press release mentioned looking into hundreds of pieces of information about Kaylee's potential stalker. I was wondering what led you to believe she did have a stalker possibly, and why those pieces of information haven't come up with conclusive results.
I'm actually going to let Captain Lanier answer this question, okay?
Thank you, Chief. We obtained information through some of our interviews that Kaylee had made some comments about a stalker, so that's where that came from. We have followed up looking at specific time frames in specific areas of town. So far, we have not been able to corroborate it, but we're not.
Sorry, I'm just pausing it so you guys can read it before it goes off.
not done looking into that piece of information.
Why those pieces of information haven't come.
Oh. All right. I just wanted to go back so that you guys could like legitly see those questions and read them properly, because sometimes the video goes too fast so you don't really see on there. Thanks, CD.
Yeah, I'm glad that CD and I are on the same page. We both, because the two questions he put up were from the student reporters.
Mm-hmm. So, whoops. So I want to leave this part. Let's see. Also remember that using a knife to kill 4 people, it takes a lot of rage and anger to do this. Absolutely. Don't count out that and or suspect will end up being close to either all of them or one of the victims. Ali has to always weigh the benefit or damage certain info they give. Remember Delphi, we finally learned months back that it was definitely a bladed weapon used. LE in Moscow gave this info right away. It's a case-by-case basis on what they give or not. Yeah. And so, yes, rest in peace. Thanks for pausing 90 seconds to put thoughts in. Was hard as hell. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, CD. Yeah, I mean, this is why, I mean, for me, I mean, I've personally like shown you guys pictures of the knife and one of the them supposedly at the crime scene and stuff like that. But then it came out in the affidavit so that we knew at least one of the items was left in the, you know what I mean, at the crime scene. Whether there was more knives involved that were actually used in the crime scene, don't know. But we know in Ron Logan's affidavit that it came out about the bladed weapon. And again, like I think that when we come to find out and learn about the crime scene and how those poor girls for Abby and Libby were brutally, grotesquely murdered. Same thing, right? A lot of rage, anger to do that. That's what probably hurts the most in a lot of the thoughts about Abby and Libby is I don't know about you guys. Can I ask you guys something? And just, do you guys believe that they were killed first and then that stuff happened after? Or I feel like that a lot of it was done after the fact.
Yeah.
And yeah. Whereas, unfortunately for these poor 4, this was, you know, some of them had defensive wounds, you know, obviously, because you can't kill one person and then other people not wake up as well, you know, because obviously this person's going to be screaming. But
right. And like I said, I've always maintained that I think the law enforcement has had the murder weapon from Delphi since day one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Not since day one. I think it was within the first month.
But I think it was left at the crime scene.
It was left at the crime scene. Yeah.
I believe it was too, and I think it was found within a small amount of time after the bodies were found.
Well, it's in the neck.
I think there's another weapon that was found there later.
Maybe. I mean, maybe like that. I mean, there are other knives there, but I'm thinking like with Abby and Libby, like, did someone take the time to like freaking clean it off and, you know,
because you noticed in the very beginning they wanted to know if specific type of knife was purchased. They never asked for a blanket statement of anyone buying any type of a knife, but that told me in the very beginning that they knew what the weapon was and they were trying to find a connection to the person that might have bought it.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it was
Not that they were trying to find the weapon.
Yeah. It always seemed that they were hinting at the fact that they knew what it was. They just didn't know who had it or where they got it from.
Right. And they were always more interested in finding a gun.
Yes. And I think that's because of what was found at the end of the bridge.
Yep.
So my thing is this still, and it's not a takeaway from Richard Allen if he's the BG or not the BG. You know, one day, like I said, we'll come to know the answers. But my thing is this: if he didn't live far, it's so confusing in my head to me because he didn't live far from the Monana High Trail Bridge. Like he didn't live that far. If he had been planning this, okay. One would think that he would have taken some of that stuff that's been left at the crime scene, that meaning that he would have like stored it somewhere in a spot, whether it was covered with leaves or whatever, kind of like put that stuff there. But knowing where I feel like I see at the crime scene and knowing what he has on him while he's walking, that's always part that throws me off because knowing that there's something behind his back and it's some sort of contraption. I've showed you guys that. You can tell it's a contraption. In the video, anyone can see that it's coming up behind his head, whether he has a knapsack on and stuff stuffed in it as well, you know. And then you got like a freaking whatever. You got this contraption thing that's poking out, you know, whatever camera thing. You totally can see something coming down his arm. I'm just trying to think in my head. So did you hide out behind a tree and then dress yourself with the freaking, you know, all this? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
That part doesn't make sense. Is like, I mean, it's going to play out one day, but I just can't understand why if somebody that goes to the Monana High Trail Bridge that knows it, that person would have thought to kind of probably stuff some stuff over here, I would think. I just can't see on this day that we all know that Becky talks about and Tara on what's this sleuth, not the web sleuths, and they talk about how, you know, like that Libby loves to be where the action is and that a lot of the people were going to be down at the you know, the trails and stuff like that.
Clearly they were.
Yeah, and clearly they were. And so all of a sudden this person, this decked out in different things, is just gonna 2:30 in the afternoon, whatever. Nobody's gonna see me with all the stuff on. Like, help me get around my thought process, knowing at the crime scene all the stuff that I see personally there: bunny rabbit masks, freaking toys, whatever, all this stuff. Like, trust me, this. And you guys have to believe that because you guys have to understand that Ives and that scene, the crime scene, and anyone would want to take a picture of it because there was so much physical evidence, like so much. Like he made a point, there was so much physical, but nothing led to anything in particular. So how me get around that? Some guy's walking on a bridge, you know, like say it's Richard Allen and who lives right near the bridge and could safely stow away some of that stuff. Why he would have all this gear on during afternoon time when other people are around the bridge, that no one would think he was strange.
Well, if you go off of rumors, you can put that together pretty easy. I mean,
go ahead, fill me up with that.
You got your person that was supposedly seen around the 1 o'clock hour, you know, south of the south end of the bridge in an area that would actually lead up to the south end of the bridge through the woods. And that's supposedly where that second released sketch came from, the younger sketch. So, I mean, that hour and a half, 2 hour time could have been to put things out there, and by using the Bridge Creek Trail behind the properties, that would be an easy way to get in and out without being seen. And then we know that there's deer trails that go from the south end of the bridge up to the north end without having to, actually do any climbing or go on the main trails. So that's an easy way to get up there not being seen. And then you've got the supposed witness statement that said somebody was seen at the trailhead, which is by the Freedom Bridge, where it dumps on to the end of the trails. And that was after the 3 o'clock hour with black clothing and a backpack, heading, towards the other end of the highway there. So, I mean, you've got these things that came out within the first few months of this case, which would put together how that all could happen.
Well, that's a lot of work, man.
Well, maybe that's why they constantly keep thinking there's 2 or more people involved. I mean, if these people were seen at these different times and they feel they were all connected and it's not the same person, that would give you way more time to do what happened in a short amount of time, and way more time to get stuff set up beforehand without having to be the one on the bridge in the video.
How do you guys take, and I'll start with Callie. Callie's down there. She's still here. Hey, Callie. How you doing?
I was hiding.
Hey, hi. How do you guys take Doug Carter's comment of complicated and complex, or complex and complicated?
Regarding the whole murder?
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, here, and I got to ask this question because it just keeps coming to my mind. When we're talking about the PCA, supposed witnesses on there, Lewis, seriously, why would they put that on at this point? That could be why the defense is saying it's flimsy.
Exactly.
Who puts witnesses on the PCA when they haven't properly identified Richard Allen? That would take him going in a lineup probably. And I mean, maybe they could just show him pictures and the witness says, oh yeah, that's him. But that doesn't even seem like that would be on the PCA. That would be the bullet casing, or,
Well, it depends on why that stuff might not have connected until after the warrant. The stuff that's in the PCA might just be, we found the file. He said he was there that time. We showed it to this witness who did the drawing earlier, and she said, yeah, that could be him. It could just be a whole bunch of substantial stuff in the arrest warrant that ties him to where he said he was. And then from the search, they found more evidence, but that doesn't have to be in the PCA. That could be stuff they're holding for discovery later. But then you want to protect the PCA because now there's people in there that they don't want being known to the public as being witnesses.
Yeah, but it just seems like weak. It does seem weak to me if they put the witnesses in at this point.
Well, honestly, if the PCA was sent to get the arrest, we don't know what's in the charging document, which is a separate document. Mm-hmm. So the charging document might actually represent what was found later, and that could be harder evidence. And the PCA is the only thing that's showing how they got to that evidence. That's why I said earlier, it would be nice to know if it was a PCA written by law enforcement, or if it was a PCA that was drafted by the DA and it was sent to the judge for an arrest warrant. And if you can differentiate between those two, that goes a long way with what's in that document and why they'd want to keep it sealed. I'd be more, inclined to know what's in the charging document as opposed to the PCA.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got that stuck in my head about why the witnesses in at this point.
That's been in my head for days now, bouncing around that same question.
Hey, what, Adam? What were you going to say? Sorry.
Well, the charging document. That's where that's what's going to tell you what they found at his house. That's where they're going to tell you they found the gun. That's where they're going to tell you some of the connections they made.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you mean the gun being found at his home is not going to be in the probable cause affidavit.
Right.
It'll be in the charging document.
It depends. If the charging document is just based on the PCA and the arrest to get the warrant issued later, there would be a different charging document showing it. Well, it wouldn't even be in a charging evidence they found the house would be different. So that's why if you know how it was drafted and who drafted it first, you'd know what would be in each document, at least a better guess as to what's.
I don't know how it was drafted. I do think that
Yeah.
it's one. I do think that it was drafted together, and I do think,
Yeah.
but I do know it was signed off by a judge.
Yeah. Well, if law enforcement makes it out after the arrest, the judge has to sign off on it. Then they present the charging document, which gives them a stronger case. If it was a DA drafted document for the PCA, that would go to the judge to be signed off to get an arrest warrant, and then they would make the arrest with a warrant. So it always felt odd the way they did the search, and they had to wait for a warrant for the search to show up. I always felt that they found something last minute that made them want to rush this, and that would be the reason for an actual officer or someone in law enforcement doing the PCA instead of the district attorney.
Just quickly, guys, Lewis, I think it was you who told me this.
Yeah.
Sonny, I read AG's sister is close with RA's daughter. I think it was on his friends list, is that's what you said, right? That
It was on his daughter's friends list, is where she was friends with AG's sister, younger sister.
Okay, so it was AG who supposedly said there was a tape of the movie, Too Many Connections.
Yeah. And that's why I felt that was kind of important, because it ties into that small circle. If they were really close friends, that maybe something was found and seen back then. I don't know.
You know what? Do me a favor. Remind me. Send me the. Sonny, I read AG's sister is close friends. AG's sister. What's her name? Chantel Garth. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Just send me the name of the RA's daughter again. I forget what it is.
It's her name. BZ are the initials.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that Zampy thing. Okay, gotcha. Okay, now, because her name is changed, but I think that's through marriage.
Yeah, the new last name is after the wedding.
Yeah. Okay.
She got married in 2018.
See, let me go back up to CD's comment. He said, remember, there was another one before that, I think CD said. The shepherd looks back. Is it this one? No. Maybe, okay. No, okay. He said, Lewis, at Lewis, think about the search warrant affidavit. We want to see that. It's going to have a ton of new info that wasn't in Ron Logan's. Remember?
Yeah, but the problem is that search warrant, that's not going to become public. The only thing that everyone has a right to see publicly if they get it released is going to be the probable cause affidavit. Everything else is going to be kept for trial. So I would love to see that, but that's something that you're not going to have pop up.
Well, unless there's another week that comes.
Well,
out.
yeah, I mean legally, you're not going to have that come out. That's the point I was making.
Yeah. And so, going back to what Paul Keenan said, so he made the comment, and he obviously is very much aware that Kagan Klein sits there eating his Twinkies over there in Miami County.
I sent you that screenshot. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it that you asked for earlier, I just sent that to you if you wanted to block the other stuff out, if that's what you were looking for.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It took a little bit to find it, so that's why it took so long.
Oh, you're talking about Chelsea Garth, not Chantel. Okay, Chelsea.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what you were looking for when you asked me earlier. I want to make sure I had the name correct.
I know you've given it to me, and I totally forgot to go back of it. Like I said, most of the hours I spend when I'm not doing lives is legitly looking at freaking pictures and
friends list probably take up most of our time.
What?
Friends list probably take up most of our time.
It's very mind-boggling, you know. And Derek Farmer, if you're in here, although we never really see Derek Farmer too much say anything anymore, dude. Even though I miss you, but I don't really ever see him chat in here anymore, even if he is watching. So if you are watching, thank you for the email that you sent out to a bunch of us, and I thought it was quite well put. There was a bunch of questions to it, and it was just right. It was one of those things, like, so it's kind of like, after all this time, all of us, meaning all the creators, all the people out there, you know, uh, looked at so many different things with involvement, you know, whether it was my line of thinking of, you know, what Garrett Kurtz is saying, Chris Mathis, the pig, the cryptic note, the, you know, all that stuff. And it just seems so mind-boggling that after all that, it's just like, so that was literally nothing, you know? He said it better than that, but that's how I feel. I'm just like, it just seems so strange, this whole thing. And everything that they're doing in this case, everything's so strange. And I'm praying for justice for Abby and Libby out of all of this strange, messed up, twisted nightmare of a case that Richard Allen, poof, who are you, dude? Where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe, you know? And I'll just be so happy once we kind of learn of more things so that those answers, because every time, you know, every time you look to go left in this case, it goes right on you. You go up the middle, it goes, you know, up, down, all around. And it's so strange. I can't even say it enough. It's just so strange. Everything that's been going on with the sealing of this arrest, of, you know, how they're doing everything. It just all seems so A to B to Q to R to Z, you know, just seems so strange. But it's just so weird that out of all the creators and everyone here watching, poof, Richard Allen comes up. Oh, actually, Yone, it's my bad. I want to answer that quickly. Yone, I seen the email and I happened to see it again today. Totally forgot about that email, and it's only because my email sent me a reminder. Because sometimes when I look at things, whether it's on a live or doing something, I might have looked at it, totally forget. Sometimes afterwards, it happens. Okay, a lot more than I care to admit to. But I did find that very interesting. Actually, it was something that I didn't really think of. I've seen those pictures that you're talking about with Jason Clint Palladino. How he morphs himself into like trees behind him. It's like the guy really doesn't do a lot of pictures besides his little whole look at my muscles from Brussels type thing. But then it's kind of like he does these two pictures, and I'd have to go back and look at the dates, unless you said right there, where he like makes trees in the background and morphs his face in there. So it's stuff like that, like, you know, I just find, so going back to what I was going to originally say here was that Paul Keenan, he's like, well, we don't want to, you know, obviously maybe keep it sealed because, you know, we don't want the person, you know, like taking off. And all I'm thinking is, well, Kagan Dunkers and things. So you've been following this case, dude. So why would you make that comment knowing full well that then it's not just Kagan Klein, not just Kagan Klein, it must be somebody else that they're thinking of, perhaps, because he's worked on the case, so he knows exactly who Kagan Klein is. So I don't know if that was just a stereotypical type of, you know, answer, but it just obviously he'd know, you know. Mind-boggling case. Mind-boggling. Yeah. Honestly, it's so mind-warping. Everything, you know, we looked so forward to yesterday. You know, trying to have our hopes up a little bit there just for them all to get dashed again. But you know that, you know, selfishly you want to know more. Unselfishly, you know that when the time
it is what it is. We have to keep in mind that, you know, we've waited 5.5 years for the day we had yesterday, which was the first day that they got to have a court appearance with the person they think is responsible for the murders. So I'm gonna hang my hat on that right now and just be grateful that day arrived.
Misha, okay, Misha, at criming shame is a direct line right to me. Although it's for the channel, it's simply a email, a secondary email of mine. I see things far faster that way than I would ever see in my actual email, which I don't like to really give out that one. If people know it, they know it. But that one houses so much stuff that comes in it. I'm more likely to miss things to that one than I am in the It's a Crime and Shame. So the It's a Crime and Shame, yes, it's for the channel, but it's direct to me. So it's not something that anybody else sees. It's what I see.
Your eyes and ears only.
Yeah, like Adam has no access, or nobody else has any access to those emails. Those are simply mine. So that was so I'll drop it in there, Misha. All you have to guys do is if you ever want the email through It's a Crime or a Crime and Shame, it's just type in exclamation mark email, and then it will pull up. Shoot, I gotta scroll all the way down. Okay, so that's only for my access, by the way. So just so you know. Go ahead, Adam.
Oh no, I was just going to answer BGH really quick. The short version is McLeland is Nick McLeland, who is the prosecutor for Carroll County, and as of now will be the prosecutor on the case against Richard Allen. Sorry, I was just answering that question from
No,
chat.
I don't even know what you said because I was too busy reading the comment by Misha that I was like, what'd you say?
Hey, fine. I was just answering their question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you guys see a question and you guys want to feel always free to jump in and say so. Sonny, I'm with you. I still think Jaylene is right. Let me put it this way. I don't stop looking at anything at all. I still continue with everything I was doing before. Lately, I've just been more focused on Richard Allen's face versus the BG's face. It's really hard. It's like 1 minute. Yeah, it just pisses me off, these freaking things. Like 1 minute I can see a little. You know how people have little tiny maybe mole in their nose, and I'm like, oh, hey, look, I can see that. Oh shit, Richard Allen has one too, just like KD does. Right in the same freaking ass spot almost.
Well, I was talking to someone yesterday that was in the courtroom, and they were just alluding to they were lamenting on the fact that, we've demonized this person for almost 6 years because of what they did to Libby and Abby. And she said, she knows that at the end of the day, he's just a human, he's just a man. But then to see him in person, it was so disgusting at what a little troll he really looked like.
Yeah, looked like a fat little troll. Just
like a fat little troll.
Yeah.
Like not scary at all in a way.
Yeah. But.
And I was like, that's so weird. That's so just surreal to think about,
Yeah. I mean, right. Even though he's innocent until proven guilty.
Allegedly.
How soon do you guys think? Yeah. So what's up with this? On this whole other person thing? Because obviously anybody's involvement, either they know that Kagan Klein is sitting his ass over in jail right there, and maybe they're not too worried about it, and maybe they're just getting all their duck lines in a row. I don't know. Or there's somebody that's outside of jail that obviously they know if he was arrested, they're going, uh-oh, shit.
I think there's a connection with Kagan Klein.
Well, I absolutely believe it.
I think it's through the CSAM thing. And I think it ties to the phones, but
there has to be more. It feels like there has to be more than just Richard Allen, Kagan Klein,
right?
And that this fantasy, this wicked crime scene thing is all posed with freaking. It doesn't make sense.
So are we missing that one piece?
Yeah. Right, Carter? We're one piece away.
Sorry to steal that term from Doug Carter there.
Well, Carter was probably about 15 pieces away, to be honest with you, when he said that. So, Carter, you weren't one piece away, and you know it, dude. That's just a comment.
I love Doug Carter, but I was like, oh gosh, if I hear,
yeah, take your one piece away. We'll claim that one now. That's ours now.
and if they use it in the Moscow thing, I'm just turning off that case. I'm not even gonna look at it.
Yeah. But I have a hard time, and yes, I will do a live on the crime scene photos. But the next live we need to do, guys, is we need to do the for Blaine's kids for Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That Friday night, or do we?
Let's do it for Friday.
You do it for Friday or Sunday?
And you know, and it's very sad because I know that if I put Blaine's donation night for his kids, very few people are going to show up for that. But I don't care. I don't care. It's
remind me to mention something to you behind off camera, Sunny.
Yeah.
About that.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I need to, of course, keep the promise, because the promise isn't for like, well, it's not the promise that I said that, you know what, let's give Blaine's kids. He has 3 kids.
Right.
His kids had no involvement, but yet their dad will not be there for Christmas time. But you know,
we should see it. We should see when Andrew can join us, because I
did talk to Andrew. You know, like meaning, and the kids do know that. You know, the kids do know that we're doing a fundraiser for their Christmas. Like,
I saw a picture of Andrew today on Facebook. He looks so good. He looks so healthy.
Andrew?
Yes.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He just looked like he was doing so well, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah. Well, 1 second here, actually. Give me a second. I just want to go find it. Give me 1 second here. You guys talk amongst yourselves or something. Or not, or just.
This was really bad of me, but so I was talking to someone earlier today about the Idaho murders, and we were just theorizing different things, and I couldn't help myself, but I was like, has anyone checked to see where Daniel Pearson was on the 13th of November?
And what's with the 13th crap, people? Seriously, what's with the 13th and these deaths on the 13th? Like, stop. Right? Like, seriously, what is it about you guys don't leave your homes on any day that has a 13th on it. You'll probably do your guys selves a favor, because someone out there is obviously going to get murdered or something, you know.
It is my favorite number.
I know your birthday's on the 13th. Anyway, give me a second. Mm-hmm.
Well, that one's already taken, because that was the day of Evansdale.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be here Friday night. If I am, I'll be buried in chat. But I would like to encourage anybody that has a few dollars to spare to please do try to help Blaine's kids. I was in a situation, I always think it's a few years ago, and it's been 4 years ago, where I had literally lost everything in a house fire. And it was right before the holidays. And then 45 days after that, my mom died, who was staying with me. And a lot of trauma, just a lot. The story goes on from there. I won't bore you guys with it, but my work at the time stepped in, and maybe I'll be able to share a picture with Sunny that she can share with you guys on Friday of the love and support that my company did for my child, because his birthday's late in the year. I want to say he was 14 at that Christmas. And they blessed him, you know, and I had nothing. Lost everything. When Red Cross put us up in a hotel for a little while, and then I had to find a rental. Still had to make my house payment through it all. You know, the bank doesn't care if her house is burned down. That's their asset. So please, if you have a few extra dollars, when I tell you this, I've experienced it in a different way. It's not death like Blaine had. But please, from the bottom of my heart, I ask you to $5, $10, whatever you can do, and try to use the PayPal if you can, so she doesn't get the fees taken out and gets it quicker. You know, she doesn't have to wait that extra month.
Thank you, Callie. I was just going to say that too, actually. So on the bio link that I just dropped you guys. Okay, now this is Blaine's children here. Okay, and so on the bio link there is a PayPal or there's the coffee app. You can buy some coffees if you want. Either way, at least I told Andrew that probably like the first week of December, then I will send him over the money from the donations. And so that's why please do not do it as a super chat where, I mean, you can if you would like to, obviously. But when it comes through the coffee link,
It
that
just goes in
comes
immediately.
within a few days. Yeah, that comes within a few days. And PayPal obviously is instant in a sense. But PayPal, you still have to, well, no, PayPal is fine because it goes in there instantly, actually. But
Yep.
doing a super chat, you lose 30% right away. And the whole point is it's to the goal to be honest is $1,000, guys. So we'll see what we hit. I'll let you guys know when we do the live exactly what we're at. But
Yeah.
you guys can still donate today, okay? Just because we're doing a donation night, you can buy some merchandise if you'd like, and we'll put a portion to that, even though I've never said that before. But we can do that. We can do a portion of that to any merchandise from the store, and or just directly just donate for Blaine's children for Christmas. Blaine was a friend of ours on here. And I think it's a beautiful thing to do for 3 beautiful children that have lost their father, and in memory of Blaine, who we loved here on this channel. We miss him still very much. I still always keep, I lots of times I still to this day I'm posting on his messenger saying, "Miss you, buddy," sending him something just to say, "Hey, I'm still thinking about you," obviously. Okay, guys. So, anyways, YouTube takes money out of the greedy. I know they take 30%, but it's
yeah.
It is what it is for YouTube. But that's why when people say PayPal, use my PayPal on that, because I mean, honestly, I don't know how many people willingly would go, "Hey, let me just give YouTube 30%." Again, $100 is $70. They take 30, but that's how they make their money. The rich get richer, but this is their platform. It's their right to do whatever they want. So I'm just going to request. So there's in the bio link is the PayPal or the coffee, where they don't take anything besides a few dollars, like a few dollars total at the end of the day. Anyways, so thank you, Callie, for that. I know that you had told me about the fire and had lost everything and how your work helped out, and it's just one of those things. I feel like it's like the Flora girls too, um if this was a donation night for Abby and Libby, it's amazing sometimes, right? That boom 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 boom. But yet when it comes to some of the other cases or things out there, people, and I think of the Flora girls in particular as I'm saying this, it's like, yeah, they were there first, and yet they barely get anyone noticing them or gave donations. While the Delphi case has well over 300 and whatever. I don't even know what the reward is for the Delphi. To be honest, I don't even know what it's at. But what Flora was 20,000, I think. And it's just kind of, it really does hurt when you think about that. And I don't want to sit here and say that we're not, because we could do more for Flora as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm seeing some comments. I know it's tough. It's tough on everybody right now financially. Really, we get that. If you can't, there's no judgment at all. We're just talking about if there's anybody that does have a little extra money, if you guys can help them out. I mean, it's just horrible as a parent going into that kind of a situation that you never ever think you're going to be in. I make money, I work, I've always worked, but that kind of thing is just too much.
What I
had a funeral too in the middle of it.
Yeah. I just think about Blaine. He was working. He was the income provider, And just like that, a family's life is turned upside down. And it's not just his, it's so many people out there. And, just people's lives can get flipped upside down. And then there's people out there that can help. That's his thing.
Right.
If you don't have it, you don't have it. No one's forcing anybody, right? It's those people out there that, might have some extra that, have a few dollars to part with or whatever, then, so be it. So, no one's asking anyone to break their bank or anything. It's just if you can, it would be appreciated for the Christmas. And if you can't, then so be it. Never feel like you have to do anything. Nobody ever forces anyone on this channel to do anything.
Then there's some of us assholes just went on 2 weeks vacation to Europe.
No,
you deserve that. I'm going on vacation.
Which was a gift, by the way.
Yeah, mine is technically too. Actually, my trip is free as well. Actually, but
yeah. I was gonna say,
I know those kids won't get anything. They just paid for a funeral. Like there is probably nobody in their life that's making that a priority, and we understand that. They barely had enough money to bury Blaine, so it's just
they're not a well-off family. They're not a well-off family at the end of the day, but and Christmas
like millions of families are.
Yeah. I just think it's always heartwarming, whether it's this channel or other channels, do things specifically what is unselfish reasons, contrary to those trash channels that make it seem like it's a selfish reason. At no point is any of this going towards the channel. This is for these kids for Christmas.
Yeah, this isn't one of those channels that shames you if you don't tip the bartender. I mean, I've seen so much of that lately that I literally unsubscribe and stop watching. It's getting sick out there with the YouTubers that are out there telling you that, like literally shaming people for not donating. This isn't about the channel. This is about a family,
Yeah. Here, buy me a mic. Let me just get my $500 tip jar so you can buy me a mic. I see. Stuff like that. I'm sure. I don't care. Each to their own. Hey, like I said, like even on like Gray's channel, right? Like everyone knows that he asks for donation night and then he gives a portion over to the Abby and Libby fund type of thing. However much that portion is, none of our business, but it's one of those things. Zero.
Well, where'd you go there, Lewis?
Is better than zero.
Lewis just pixelated his entire screen just pixelated like he was in the Matrix.
Okay. Anyway, so
you uncovered me.
Anyway,
I'm
thank
not
you.
real.
Bullhorn Betty. Bra, that's. But anyways,
Jumping Jack Flash earlier had said, and I agree, Blaine's daughter looks so much like him.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Give her a beard and some red hair, and she'll be right there.
Yeah.
I was kidding.
I miss Blaine. I know Sonny. I know we all do, but
yeah. And anyways, but we'll do that like next Friday, I believe. Yeah, next Friday. Yeah, that'll be a good day. I don't care. 50 people show up. Better than zero.
50 good people.
Yeah, the right people will come.
Yeah, it's always
right.
It's always
And people shouldn't feel bad if they can't. There's been times in my life I've wanted to do things for people, and I just haven't been able to.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky enough that that when I needed things in my life, people have been there for me. So.
Yeah.
There's lots of good people out there, and even the people that can't do anything doesn't mean you're still a good person. Just means financially you can't. I'm not in a financially great situation myself because my husband holds down most of what's going on right now. Stuff like that. But
Sonny, is your OnlyFans page not doing well?
No, you know what? My husband was just talking about that actually. He was like, "We really got to sell these things," and by that he was talking about the turkey breasts. Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
Gobble gobble.
Gobble gobble gobble. Yeah, my husband supports me no matter what I do. He knows I want to do this. I still throw out applications. Don't get me wrong. Still throw them out there. Maybe not as many as I probably should, but I still throw them out there. maybe I don't want to work before Christmas time because, you know, I've worked since I was 8 years old, honestly, from delivering papers. And now that Christmas is so close, I don't want to get stuck working any hours before Christmas time. I just want to make some videos. I want to just, when when you want to just take some time to yourself, even though maybe it's not benefiting, my husband so much either. But he's, I got 21 years on him. All right. Well, I just want to take a little bit of time extra. Like, I mean, if something comes up, sure, so be it. But I'm just taking some time to myself before Christmas. And then, if I really got to kick myself in the ass, then I will again. It's not cheap living freaking here. Like, seriously, it's just not. Like, like I said, $1,200 a month just is in car payments and insurance. $1,500 for rent. That's just that's just those two things. My husband makes decent money, but that decent money can only take you too far as well. It's just Vancouver is a very expensive place to live. $1,500 for a 1-bedroom apartment. And he hasn't even raised the rent in 3 years.
I could take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonah,
anyway.
I'm sorry. I wanted to say, Jonah, I'm sorry about your mom. That is so hard. That's what I faced after the house fire. Like I said, 45 days later, she died unexpectedly from stress of watching me stressed. And it was just awful. And to be honest, like, it's a good thing that there was that pause between the fire and when she died, because she was in the house when the fire was set, and unintentional. Well, I can't really talk about that part right now, but my friend had to go in and save her. And had she died in the fire, the person that was involved would have had forever guilt. And so for God to spare her 45 days kind of separated it out enough, but it was all right before the holidays. And it was horrible. It was just horrible to lose her in the middle of it, because I always thought, like, if I ever lose my mom, I'm going to end up in a straitjacket, kind of kidding. But when it happened so close to the other tragedy all of a sudden meant nothing. It was all about her and that loss. And then like 2 months later, they started rebuilding my house because it was gutted completely. Everything was down to the studs. Then, like, as soon as I get a contractor, they start building it. My contractor and project manager got murdered by his brother.
Wow.
Right then and there. Yeah. And that was a big story. And it was horrible. Then the guy killed himself. It was a family feud. Really sad. Like, these are really good, upstanding community people. And this kind of stuff just like kind of happened for almost a year. And so, but again, looking back at all of it, I'll lose everything again to have my mom back. So trust me, when I see you writing that, Jenny, my heart, I want to cry for you, because it's painful, and it's really painful at the holidays.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're sending our love to you.
Yeah. Yone, yeah, sorry about that, and same with you, Callie. Most of you guys too, like, know I lost my mom. And yeah, sometimes when it shitstorms, thank you for sharing that, Callie, because I know, like, we talked already about this, and it's just like, it just rains and it pours. But there's one thing that, it's really sucks is that, like, I just get to stare at my mom's picture, but I don't get to go to her house for Christmas or Thanksgiving and different things. Like, I really miss those memories. Those were great memories when I did live around here. And if I didn't, I would fly out every 2 years and stuff like that. And, mine kind of happened there too. Like, my golden retriever died December 7th. So that's coming up, and every year that was in 2012. And I still remember it like it was yesterday. I try not to think about it and block it. This is when I was going through the divorce as well. And then and then my son decided that he was going to get angry and doesn't want to stay at my place anymore once I did move out. And then he stopped talking to me for a year. And then my mom, during that time, I was told my mom had cancer, and it was it was so much stuff, Yoni. that I literally had to put it in a box and block so that I could maintain some happiness, knowing that you can't change things. Knowing you can make things, be a victim for things or whatever. Like, and I refused to do that. There was so much sadness. It's not going to take away the sadness of it all, but I have to box things. If I don't box them, I'd be a basket case if I didn't, to be honest with you. So I have to, and unfortunately, sad things like that happen in our lives. No
Right.
different than these 3 children that are before you, and just life.
Sunny, luckily, cancers are good at compartmentalizing.
Yeah, I am too, and even though I'm a Virgo.
Virgos are good at it too. Virgos are the best at everything, right?
Not really. But I just, I will have to say, I don't want this to end on a sad note, and I am very blessed because I got a brand new house out of it, although I didn't see that for about a year after. You get kind of, your body goes in shock for a while, but I have to, look at things back and say, I always have believed there's a reason for everything. And I've always believed that things happen in God's timing, not mine.
Yeah.
And, I can look back at my life. A friend of mine told me years and years ago, she said, a woman is like a tea bag. You just never know how strong she is until you put her in some hot water. Boy, was that true. Was that a true statement? But so don't feel bad. I say this because I was referring to, Blaine and his kids.
Oh.
But also I feel like y'all are family, so it's okay to talk about things sometimes. But I don't want anyone to think this is a negative or a downer session here. It's just, things to be thinking of when we don't always think about what's going on in our immediate life. Kind of think about what else happens out there to people. Look at the families in Idaho. They're burying people instead of cooking turkeys.
Right.
I mean, that's horrible, horrible. And the Patties and Anna Williams and some people have some seriously bad stuff going on right now,
Yep.
Yeah. Christmas, like I said, it's it really is a time of depression for a lot of people because it's hard. Christmas is like a huge holiday for many people because it's a time, you guys all know this, yeah? You guys all know that people become a lot nicer around Christmas time. Even the dickheads become nicer that are usually like, rah, rah, rah. And then, like the Christmas bug can hit them a little bit more. But people are a lot nicer around Christmas time. But it's definitely a time, especially because we associate Christmas a lot with the missing of our family members, maybe because somebody passed away around that time, or simply because you don't get to spend it with them. Like most of the other days are just boom. Here's Valentine's Day. I got it. Huh. Race car going on behind somebody there?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
But anyway, but Christmas time is one of those ones that expands for at least a good month, and people start thinking of it, like I think of it personally in September, but, November, early December and stuff like that. So it's one of those ones. My brother would always be such a miserable shit around Christmas time because my brother would put the expectation on himself that Christmas was about how much money you had to put out. I never put that expectation out on myself. Christmas to me was always about the most enjoyable thing was being around the family members and getting time, to spend time with them. I appreciated that. Whereas my brother would turn into this freaking Grinch, like Scrooge. And he sometimes would not even want to come over to my mom's for Christmas. And then he would change his mind throughout the day because he knew that everybody was gathering around, eating, talking, and blah, blah, blah. But he always made it about money, like how much money he had to spend. And it's like, dude, you put that expectation on yourself. When you say that you have to spend $50 on a gift, you don't need to spend $50 on a gift for each kid and stuff like that. That's your expectation you put on yourself.
Well, what was his age, though?
Pardon?
What was his age at that time?
My brother?
Yeah.
20s, late 20s.
So, you're at a point there where maybe you're not fully at that point in your life.
No.
So, that's what becomes important when you're in your mid to late 20s for some people.
Yeah. Oh, he was 20, 30. Just
Yeah.
again, some people just associate Christmas time with a lot of sadness, and that's why there's a lot of suicides and stuff like that. It really is like a self-awareness check for some people, because it really is you know, it's just a very sad holiday for a lot of people. Like, it's a very nice holiday for a lot of people too, but it brings a lot of sadness. Like, when I think of December 7th, I can't help but think of it, associate Christmas with it, because it's in the month of December.
Yeah.
So when I think about when my dog died, I always remember December 7th, which reminds me of Christmas and the sadness that happened just before Christmas, is how it enters my brain in a sense. But anyways, you know, all I know is that these three beautiful children in front of you, their dad's not going to be there. Sadly for Blaine, again, we all know, if anyone follows, he OD'd, and Yone, and Callie, or anyone else out there watching right now, you know, again, for your family members that are passed and gone, prayers to anyone out there that has a hard time during the holidays or those special moments, because it is hard. You know, you only got your parents. You know.
Yeah. Oh, Carly said her mom on the 7th of December.
Wow. Geez, so sorry.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. My grandpa died on Thanksgiving, and my grandma died on Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that weird?
Wow.
Say it one more time, Adam. Your wife?
My grandpa died on Thanksgiving, and my grandma, his wife, died on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Someone said, sorry, JD. Don't mean to be a downer, but a guy crashed and died in front of my house this morning. Fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think we do need to end it on a higher note. Do we have any
Yeah,
elephant
let's do it.
oil painting?
Yeah. Adam, we need some pictures. We need the risque pictures.
Yeah, no. We'll get off of this topic now, because yeah. I mean, the thing is that it's kind of like Abby and Libby, though. You don't want to forget. You know, they're always there, right there. You know, in the thing, and
Sorry.
yeah. You know, regardless, they'll never be forgotten. Absolutely not.
Jumpin' Jack Flash, to answer your question, no, I have not gotten any calls since the end of August, so knock on wood.
So do you know who that was? You have any clue who that was?
No. But I know that someone else that was getting calls around the same time, they ended around the same time as well, which I found it very interesting.
Wonder if anybody got incarcerated around that time.
Well, we discussed that, but I don't know. I don't know. It was probably just a troll.
That's a kind of specific troll.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully you're okay.
You talking about the trolls, Adam?
Yeah. So hopefully they don't start again now.
Yeah.
See, you sparked it. Now it's going to come up.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. There we go. Agree. Yeah. What time is it? 2:30 here. See, I want to. No, it's probably closed now. I was supposed to go to the dollar store today. I said to
you
the
never made it.
No, because husband. So I called husband.
That was like 9 o'clock this morning. You told me you were going.
Yeah. So, because my husband said that he was going to take me to the dollar store today, and he has the vehicle. But anyways, and there's not one right around here. I mean, if I walked about 25 minutes, I'd come across it. But I don't want to go to that dollar store. I want to go to the $1.25 dollar store where everything's $1.25 and not a freaking other dollar store where $3.50, $4.50.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. Those little dollar stores, they just keep upping their freaking prices all the time. And like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, what's it called again? Shit, can't even think of the name. But anyways, but I legitimately just want to go because I said, husband, I said, you know, last year he put up a little Christmas tree with some little lights running around the kitchen counter thing. Again, 1-bedroom apartment, people. There's three of us living here. One of them uses the living room as his bedroom. It's a little setup he's got going there, though. It's like a bedroom. But anyways, so I said, husband, and this is after talking with my son, and I was sad. My husband, and I said, husband, I need you to put up the Christmas tree again with the little decorations you did last year. I said, because I just like the spirit. I love the spirit. I can just look. When I walk in the door and you see those little lights twinkling, I'm just a happy camper. I love Christmas. I love Christmas lights. I like the beauty of the prettiness of it all.
I
And
love
so yeah, so I said, husband, could you do that? And he's like, well, honey, the lights burnt out, the ones that we had, because we left them literally up for about 3 months after Christmas. And he's like, well, the lights burnt out. And I'm like, well, we don't have any more? And he's like, no. He's like, well, why don't I take you to the dollar store tomorrow, which is today? And I said, well, no, we can't really afford that right now. Like, putting out money for things that we just don't really need, with me not working and whatever. And then he's like, no, it's okay. We'll spend about $20 because, $1.25 store, right? And I was like, okay. So anyways, so my husband had to work in downtown Vancouver. And if anyone knows Canada, but downtown Vancouver, that's like going to a rat race up, down one street. It's no, nobody wants to go to downtown Vancouver. But anyways, so I call him about 1:00 and I'm like, oh, he's still there in Vancouver. And I could just tell by his voice, freaking traffic. And I was like, so, do you still want to go to the dollar store? And he's like, yeah, we can, but I'm not doing anything before I go to Burger King. Because my husband feels like, why go to the store and pay those expensive groceries when I can just have a Burger King meal for cheap? And I sometimes I agree. You can get sometimes the freaking meal for cheaper than what the freaking actual, dinner is going to be. So anyways, and then he's like, why don't we go Saturday? And I was like, okay, fine. Perfect. We'll go Saturday. So Saturday, I want to just get up the little Christmas lights, little Christmas vibe going on. And I know I could have made that story shorter, but I didn't, and I don't care.
Lisa, I'd be happy to see if I can make that happen for you sometime. I'll cover myself in twinkle lights.
God. That would be awesome on Christmas Eve or something. That'd be awesome.
Guys, I'm still stuck in the fact that your dollar store went to $1.25 like ours did. It should be higher since you're in Canada. It should be like the $1.45 store, not the $1.25 store.
Well, the one up the street, that's what they call the dollar store or whatever, but it's really $3.50, $4.50. So my point is this: I hate paying $3 for the same thing. I can go to the Dollar Tree store and pay $1.25 for that same item that they're trying to charge $3.50 for. Kiss my butt, ain't gonna happen. And then I can probably find maybe a few treats there, because the dollar store is good for having some good little treats at Christmas time and stuff. Not like I could have too much sugar or nothing, but talking just things that you can get there. Like I like to buy gravy, for instance, there, because gravy is at least cheap there. You go into the store and you're like spending $1.50 for one packet of gravy, $2 almost now. Go to the dollar store, they're like $3 for a freaking $1.25.
See, I don't know if your Dollar Tree is that way, but I like them for cards. Their deals on different holiday cards is really a great deal.
I'm gonna mute that. I think that's Kelly barking again.
Sorry, I was totally tuned out. My dog's out there barking.
That's just your cold. It's your cough, right?
I would like to see.
Oh my God! Take me to the doctor if I sound like that when I cough. Huh?
Aussie said, I just did a painting and embedded blue neon lights in the canvas. Looks awesome. I would love to see that. That sounds really cool.
I bought tangerine.
Have you ever done that, Aspen? You buy like a canvas at one of the inexpensive stores, like of a skyline, and then you put the little holes in there and you put the Christmas lights through it. They really look nice. It's a nice way to make some wall art for inexpensive.
Oh, cool. To be in a creative job, I'm not very creative when it comes to art.
I would expect different.
No, I'm pretty center brained. It's like, I can be really creative, but I'm really OCD and focused in my art. But like when it comes to like painting or something like that, I'm horrible. I can't Like I can't let my mind go.
I can
Whereas
paint.
Sunny's, Sunny does some amazing paintings. I don't know how much you're doing it lately, but
I haven't done any lately.
because you don't really have your space right now, so.
No. I know, but that's why I have fun creating on the merch site.
Absolutely.
I just like creating. So I just like creating. Simple as that, to be honest. And if I can't do it the one way of painting, which I like painting, I just have a lot of creative outlets, to be honest. And CD, that couldn't be truer. I love those kids. They are like my own. Life isn't fair. He should still be here, and nothing anyone can do. Everyone should cherish what they have because health is wealth. Yeah, absolutely. What's this? Strawberries were $9.98. Whoa, dude.
Whoa.
$9.99. Yeah, because they're so out of season right now, right? Like honestly, like I'm not kidding you. When my husband goes to the store at IGA, which is now called Fresh Street, like I'm not kidding. Nothing. You virtually get nothing, and it's always $100. Always. just for a few. I'm not even kidding. $100. Get you shit. My mom used to go on. My mom would be a coupon clipper, and we would go to all these different stores because the gas wasn't expensive back then and stuff. And $200 would buy you 2 cartloads of food. Now $100 gets you shit. In fact, it barely gets you shit right.
See, I'm a strategic shopper, so I plan it out in advance and I try to get as many good deals as I can.
Good for you.
It takes work.
Do that.
It's like having a second job or a third job or a first job, whatever you want to
do. I'm really guilty of not having the attention span or patience for that. So I probably overpay for a lot of things, that I just don't have to. But I'm also not feeding a family of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I can be guilty of going to the grocery store and just buying stuff because it's because it's there and it's convenient. And like the grocery store that's across the street from me is one of the most expensive ones in town, but it's right there.
See, what kills me is I have to have a specific diet, and to stay gluten-free gets very expensive unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah, one of the friends that I was traveling with in Europe, we joke because the 3 of us that travel together, 2 of us are vegetarian and one of us has celiac, and so ordering at a restaurant were like a nightmare.
I can relate. I've got celiac sprue too, and it's worse than just being a gluten issue. You have to safely order when you go out to eat somewhere.
Yeah.
Same thing. Well, I mean, it's harder for a vegan, but even for a vegetarian, it's not the easiest thing. You've got to ask questions, and you can't trust them.
Yeah. I can typically find something anywhere. I can eat a salad or something, but we just joke that we're like a nightmare going into a restaurant because we're like, I can't have this. I can't have this.
Oh boy.
Salads become safety nets for both issues.
Yeah. I at least could enjoy the bread and the pastries in Europe.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing to have to avoid is fresh, hot, crusty bread.
Oh, and those pastries in Portugal, oh my gosh. If anyone ever gets the opportunity, they were amazing.
I love bread. Bread is my nemesis. I love
bread. This will go out to CD. He'll appreciate this. Even in the United States, being in New York is a completely different situation when it comes to pastries. And I'm sure he would know what Artuso's is, but when we went there for a funeral a few years ago, my family went with me, and they've never been to New York before. And I know the people that own Artuso, so I took them to the Bronx location. And when you walk in there, they saw it was in these cases, and it was like jaw-dropping for them. It's amazing how you'll have different quality of pastries and selections when you go to different areas. So I can imagine what you went through with your trip in France was probably amazing.
Don't you have any pictures at all to show us?
Not right. I don't right now. I haven't gone through them yet. I have to.
Well, what are you waiting for? That should have been like day one.
I know. I'm really bad at it. I haven't even uploaded them into like the stream where I'm supposed to share them with my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm that person like a month and a half from now. I'll be like, oh, here's all my vacation pictures.
Right. Oh my goodness. I was trying to look. Oh my, you know what? When this case is over, my computer is getting such a wash of freaking all these pictures. I literally, it takes my iCloud forever just to pull up.
I don't even know how I could go through them all at this point.
I wanted,
like, I mean, that all my Delphi pictures, like my screenshots and stuff. I don't even know how I could like give.
Like, I'm like, seriously, it's like,
because mine are all mixed in with all my other stuff. So I'm like, I don't even know how I can get through them all.
That's why I'm gonna have a nightmare too, because I got all these other things mixed in with them as well. When I upload, I just offload, and then so secretly I was trying to find a painting of mine because I know that they hit up here because they're not on my thing anymore, and so I was trying to find one, but hell, if I don't have to go through 14,000 pictures and I still can't find one on there. So I'm just gonna give up in a second because this is like and you know the thing is, when I'm not looking for it, I'll find it.
Oh yeah,
it's always the way.
Yeah,
But the one I want to just show you something quickly, because this picture always gets me.
I'll send Sunny one picture.
You send me one. Now that isn't the full picture I took, I don't think. But what always gets me about this picture here is I muted myself like an idiot. Okay. Is right. Hold on. Oh, I'm in a different screen. Is it this one? Okay. What always gets me about this is that, like, this. Okay, BG, right here. Okay, BG. And so I took this picture off of, whatever it was, Inside Edition, I believe it was.
Okay.
And the BG and this picture overlapped each other, which created this. Okay, see this? Tell me that that's not some sort of gun right there. See this running up inside his down his leg? So I just want to explain is that, okay, there's this tube, and then it's like kind of like right here. It just morphed into the picture. You know, like there's the. Do you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm showing you?
No.
The gun.
But I told you I'm horrible at this. I'm like Charlie Brown.
Yeah, but okay, but this one right here should be self-explanatory in this way. Right here, look at nozzle, like nozzle. Like, can you not make that out? That's like a nozzle.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, but in relation to isn't that the railing of the bridge?
No, the railing of the bridge doesn't look like a nozzle. The rail, but that's what happened, Callie, is that here, if you look, this is the railing of here, and then it just so happens that this kind of crosses this way over here. But I don't know how to explain it because it's just a picture that morphed. But if you look here on the BG's right side, right, it's that same thing, but it's like it morphed here because the two pictures collided in a sense. Like the two, it's kind of like when people look at the 48 stills of the BG. Well,
Yeah.
and then one overlaps, and then you see his face like here and here on the BG, and it looks, same thing happened here. It just two segments in a sense, or two stills cross path as it was playing, and I took the thing, and it just happened that the BG, and I keep going back to the wrong picture there. Anyways, it just so happened that the BG and Libby, as they were showing the documentary, just cross paths over there. This picture just always, I don't know. It was kind of like almost like what I call like that special picture that just morphed in the killer, or supposed if he's the killer, the BG. and Libby, and it was just one of those ironic pictures to me on there. So yeah, I just happened to
Speaking
come
of the
across it.
bridge, did you guys see the pictures of the work they started doing?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
True Crime Web Steve was there.
Ah.
hmm So he took a few pictures
Of where?
of the
The
new
bridge, they started
bridge.
ripping up the old ties and putting down the new boards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys can go watch. I'm not sure which video it was, but when he was going to Evansdale, he was showing that. He was showing how that picture on his video of the bridge and how it's under work right now. I mean
I was
that
kind of
bridge.
disappointed with it.
Hey,
I was kind of disappointed that they're taking the train track look away and going with flat boards. I was really hoping they put down all new ties and then put railings up so it still resembled a train line, but that seems to be the opposite of what they're doing with it.
oh okay.
Yeah, the pictures I saw, it now looks like they're putting down like deck material instead of railroad ties.
Yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, deck material. Yeah, it kind of looked like that, didn't it?
You're sort of losing that trestle look, which is what makes that part of the historical landmark is the fact that it was a train bridge crossing. But so I was a little disappointed that the look they're going for is different. But
Hey, Callie, do you remember what live it was that I was showing some of those pictures?
From which pictures?
The crime scene.
Oh, it was last Friday night and last Wednesday night, I believe.
Yeah. Look for those ones.
Okay, I'll do that real quick.
Andrea. I'll do another one. I've been very more selfish with doing things for myself than worrying about if I have to show them to you guys, because I was just kind of waiting for yesterday to happen, really. I just wasn't
right.
Just kind of keeping things to myself for the most part. As I look at different things and stuff like that. But I play with it every night. I just don't always show you guys what I do. I just play with the crime scene and
Okay.
see what else. Go ahead, White.
Yeah, my mind went straight to like my 12-year-old brain when you said that.
Play with myself. That one?
So I play with it every night.
I play with it every night. Or isn't that what CD said? Dear, nice CD. Play with it every night. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'm good. Let's go. Let's do final thoughts, guys, and let's get off for.
Well, I sent you a picture. Did you want? If you wanted to see the picture, I sent you.
My bad. I'm so sorry. I totally ignored that you even said that. My bad, guys. 1 second here. Adam. Squirrel. Oh. Let's see. Okay, let's hold on. Okay, that one. Nope. That one. Okay, so I gotta go this way. 1 second. Okay.
Those are literally just like a few pictures. Or like whatever.
Okay. Stop screen. Share screen.
Or like 1,000.
I hate sharing it from Facebook, but I'm too lazy to. Okay, so look at that.
Wow, nice.
Right.
And then.
I love it.
Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't there one more?
Yeah. I was sitting on the edge of a cliff.
Look at this one. It's like they're freaking. It's like the turkey move.
Oh, weird. Oh, here, I'll send you one more. This would be like
Thank you, Misha.
And okay.
Louis?
I'll do more with this one. This one that I just sent you, Sonny, I'll do more with later. But if anyone in the chat can tell me what this is, let me know.
Okay, hold on. Misha, Louis, you didn't answer her if it was the spot in West Chester, Bronx, Square Bronx.
I didn't see the question.
Well, you're not
What
paying
was the-
attention. It's what if it was the spot in Westchester? Oh, Westchester. Okay, if I put the words together.
Westchester in the Bronx or Westchester County right outside the Bronx?
In the Bronx, Westchester Square,
Oh,
Bronx.
Westchester Square. That's like near Pelham Bay and the Hutchinson River Parkway.
Come on, Facebook. Giddy up, man. Giddy up. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Had to open it up or close off because you know me, I suck at trying to do Facebook stuff, and the next thing I know, I'm showing my entire screen to people.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, I was in Portugal. So if anyone knows where this last picture is from.
Oh, I know where it's from. I know where it's from without even, it's from the McCain place.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's, you know why? Because I know that story. And I know that place.
I went there. And I took videos and I've got pictures of it was so weird and so surreal to be there and to walk around and to be standing at the door of that condo.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet you felt the vibes for sure.
Oh, it was really, I felt a little cringy being there. Like, I felt like I was like, I didn't stay long, but yeah, it was really, really intense to be there. And just to see it with my own eyes.
Hey, and don't forget you got 2 books to mail out, mister.
I know.
Yeah, that just came to me in my head now. Yeah, don't want people thinking that he was too worried about his vacation instead of your books.
Sorry. They're going out.
Yeah. Where is Sloopy anyway? Did anyone ever answer that?
Oh, I talked to her. She's good. She was in bed.
Oh, okay.
Well, we said hey.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see your video on this, Adam. You gonna post it on your channel?
We might do it. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, McCann. I said McCain, but
Yeah.
it's McCann, isn't it?
Yeah, Madeline McCann.
Yeah.
Okay. I was able to go back through chat and find her question. If she knows where it is, it's near the Botanical Gardens in New York, which is like real close to like 87 or what else is over there? I think like a little bit north from Yankee Stadium.
Oh.
That's the one pastry shop that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Carly, that one thing I will say is I had a whole different perspective about the scene of that case now, having been there, because it's literally across the sidewalk
from where they were at dinner.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's so close. It would be no different than being in the backyard of their. I'm sorry, saying what?
Sorry, closer than what it looks like when they show it on TV?
Yes, it is literally like it's no further away than if someone were in their backyard and their kids were in the house.
Wow.
I mean, it's right there.
See, that's what I was kind of wondering. Like, I didn't think they left him too far.
There's a small courtyard right there, and then literally a walkway and the restaurant.
Yeah, did they arrest that one guy that they kept talking about?
He's in jail for another crime.
Right, is that for the old lady that he raped?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he's in jail. If it's probably that same guy that's in jail for that old lady, and then because I think he went from there and then he went into Berlin, didn't he?
Yeah, and I have videos that show the whole area and the pool and the restaurant. It's private property, so I was like I said, and I felt a little cringy being there taking videos, just knowing what happened there. Like I didn't even get a video of the side window, which I was like, because that's always been a big thing. But I think it's in one of my videos, but I haven't really done anything with them yet. So,
as soon as I seen it, just because, like I said, a few years back, I was like watching the whole documentary on it. And as soon as I didn't even look at the picture up until all of a sudden I put it up, and I was like, oh, I know that place. I know it just because I remember watching the whole documentary on it. And Like I said, the restaurant seemed further than what
It did. It all looked very further away to me when I watched the documentaries. But being there, it was all so close together.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's just the thing. And it's kind of like, even we'll say with Ron Logan's Land to, like the house across the crime scene, I think it's a lot closer than what it seems. Like the Weber house or whatever. I think it's a lot closer than what it visually seems, because I know with that McCain case here, that I was like, I would never be that far away from my child. I get it, because you just think, oh, well, I can see it. So if you can see it, it's such a sad case. Such a sad case. John Bonet's case, sad case. Just just heart wrenching. I like just to go and have dinner knowing that you can see the place, but not, and then this person's able to get in there, take poor Madeline. How do you say it? Madeline. And then it's just mind-boggling. Oh my God. I just think of my panic attack when my son would disappear out of my sight for a second. I went into instant anxiety. So imagine if you get back in there and then all of a sudden, like I said, you just cannot find your kid. But I'm sure they're not thinking that this kid's been taken out and murdered.
Yeah.
Heart-wrenching. Anyways, you guys, I want to get going off the live for tonight. We're at the 3-hour mark now.
Yeah.
So, hey, hello, lovely Steffa. Hey,
Steffa.
Hi, Steffa.
Hey, Steffa.
Yeah, good fight, Steffa. Even though she
Alexa's talking us into some New York cheesecake, and
don't even get me started. Cheesecake is
I've never had it.
Favorite thing. I love New York cheesecake.
I want some New York pizza.
Yeah, that's a whole different subject there.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Callie. Callie's got a lot, and then she's on vacation. She's got, you guys got your Thanksgiving tomorrow and stuff like that. So, happy Turkey Day. And if you guys again could give a like and a share, and I'll drop the bio link one more time for anyone that wants to check out. You can again follow.
Sorry.
What happened?
Yoni.
Sorry, show up in which one?
Yoni says, Sonny, remember how you said it was going to be a short?
Well, this is short. It didn't hit 4 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
So shut up.
And I said her name wrong. It's supposed to be Hone, like Monet with the H.
Yeah, Hone.
Yeah.
Steffa clear.
Oh, Alexa.
Steffa clears a room.
I'll pay you, Alexa.
Well, you know how to do that right, Steph. I'll give yourself a freaking. There you go. Remember how you said
Steffa's going to party with Callie and I in Atlanta next month.
Apparently, I'm going to be getting some cheesecake. So see ya. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we want to be. I love cheesecake. Can I tell you that I love cheesecake? Oh, now that just pissed me off.
If you're going to talk about cheesecake, there's something that you can only have in New York City, and CD should send one to everybody.
Oh yeah,
it is a New York style crumb bun.
What?
It is a New York style crumb bun.
Crumb bun.
Okay. Yeah, it's a crumbly bun. Yeah, it is like nothing you can find anywhere else in the United States.
Really?
So I think he now owes everybody in chat a crumb bun.
Or would you start PayPaling the money for
it? Alexa's over there too. So if you guys can just split it between yourselves. Yeah. Anyways. Okay, you guys, we're going to head off out of here. You guys have a great
I love you, Steffa.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Callie. Thanks, Lewis. Thanks,
Callie. Thank you, Lewis. Callie. Yeah. Thank you, Callie. Thank you, Lewis.
And then everybody have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yep. Okay, guys. Yeah, Steffa, this is all because of you that we're ending this live. I just want you to go away knowing that